field has had its hands on this very trophy. In about 12 hours' time, we're going to see if it's somebody new. Today is finals day.
Yeah, welcome back, everyone. It's our final day of the Premier League pool from the Hotel Hills, Sarajevo, Bosnia and Herzegovina. I'm Jeremy Jones, joined with Carl Boys. We have 6 left out of 16. By the end of the day, we'll crown a champion. After these 6 play a round robin stage, we'll get down to 4 for 2 semifinals, and then our final, of course, for the last match. I really think, here's our standings. I really think we got the right 6. I mean, I think the PLP, the beauty of it, it really shows you who should be there on this last day.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. The 2 players at the top have been outstanding all week. The other 4, they've kind of like blipped in and out, but as Jeremy Jones says, the top 6, well, we can't argue with that.
Yeah, the rain has kind of ceased. Had a real rainy day yesterday, some more rainy than for others, but the ones that were eliminated. But you see here 2 big names to start: Aloysius Yapp and Johann Chua on table 1. Table 2, all big names actually: Moritz, Neuhausen, and Robbie, Capito. And then you can see it's a mixture of those 6 throughout this afternoon.
Yeah, you're going to get to see players play back to back just because 6 players left in the tournament. Everyone's going to play 5 matches. This is the first match we've got for you. Chua against Yapp.
Yeah, we've seen these guys now. This is day 8. I don't know if you noticed it right there with the lag. Did you see anything different that I noticed? I noticed in the practice room that was a little shocking to me. You have to really, really pay attention.
Are we talking about Yapp's cue?
Yeah, he's got the black shaft on. He hasn't played with it all week.
Yeah, yesterday, Jason Shaw brought it up. He spotted it.
Yeah, that talked to Yapp, and he, had a cue change, like hardware change, like a lot of players have in the last couple years, and the game evolving and dollars being thrown around, and these great players deserving. But he said he's been trying to get used to it. Don't recall him pulling it out yet, though, right?
Yesterday.
He did.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. Jason was sat here. Me and Scott were in comms, and Shaw brought it to our attention.
Well, I guess I just didn't have one of his matches in comms yesterday. I wonder if that has something to do, because if the one player has said the most to me about trying to work the cue ball, it's been difficult on these tables, being a little slower. It's been Yapp more than any other player. Little thin on the break there. He's been awesome past day 1 or 2, Johann Chua, with making the one on the side.
Yeah, it's funny you're talking about saying he's trying to get used to it. It's funny how certain players have to get used to things, and then, if you look at somebody like Jason Shaw, I just feel like he can not get any cue stick, but certainly a lot of the big name brands, he could get their like high-end shaft and he could cope with it. I mean, when Shaw won Hanoi, the shaft he won that tournament was dreadful. It was one of the worst shafts you've ever seen.
Well, I mean, I guess it's all a matter of opinion, but...
No, but what I'm saying is now he's got carbon and he could get something else. He's just so natural, on the cue. He just finds the throw of the cue and kind of where to aim. Just a lot easier.
Yeah, I think that serves with technique sometimes. But when I played, and of course my cues, I tried to keep them, stiff. I'd say before carbon came along, I wouldn't say it was like super low deflection, but stiff. And I never really had that much trouble changing for one reason or another. But I've always said that good players change easier because their technique and their fundamental is so good. I just don't think they let it vary that much.
Yeah, I'm with you there, JJ. Nice little Karen there. It was important to keep the angle.
Yeah, a little shake of the head, but really at close quarters, stunning over shouldn't be a problem.
We've seen this shot a few times this week, and you've got to be careful because stunning the ball, it can often come off this rail quite powerful.
Yeah, we saw a scratch from a very similar shot in a crucial moment for Tyler Steyer. big match. I think it was to end like day 4 or something like that. But Yapp is one, you know, we saw him tinkering with the weight quite often. It's like he needed a tool belt for that 10-millimeter Allen wrench he's been working with all week. But I think the players are a little more dialed in to their equipment and stuff like that. So, you know, I say dialed in, maybe I'm trying to say detailed. All right, he's got to get kind of short side position here. He's come in really tight, which is smart. That way you can just evaluate from where you land. Looks pretty ideal, though, overall.
Yeah, this is day 8. Plenty of pool this week for, of course, these 6 players. You can see the table in the background. Neuhausen is up against Capito. You're just going to see quality match after quality match now. Not saying all the other players in the tournament weren't quality, but certainly a case of the guys who have handled this format, the big league format. I mean, all the players left have played 24 matches in 7 days.
Yeah, be it races to 5, though, it's still intense races to 5, and a race to 5 becomes very magnified. All right, nice little out here to start for Aloysius Yapp after not the best break from Johann Chua. Of course, it's early, so don't expect that from Chua very often. Wonder how conscious he is out there with the. He get some time yesterday with the carbon, but I feel like Yapp's a fairly conscious player, anyways, which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing. Kind of feel like these 6 can come in with as clear a head as possible after a marathon of matches and trying to realize this is the day to put all that effort in and keep a clear mind. See Jason Shaw warming up. Only player I didn't see down here was FSR early. He's been dealing with a little bit of a stomach bug the last few days. Robbie Capito to break on table 2, trailing 1-0 to Moritz Neuhausen. Now Robbie, he got a little warning yesterday about soft braking, so we'll see how that works out for him. Or questionable on the soft side of the brake. All right, nice break off there. A little over the 7. I think it's going to be, of course, this one not as hard. A little awkward cueing. He's got to work the cue ball a little bit, but not much at all, really. Just kind of hold over, stay off the rail. But I think it's going to be some long balls that separate a few today. And that's not the best feeling there. Just got a little quick with it. You could see a little short. He's one that goes through the ball and never aiming that poorly. It's just the delivery caused that mistake. All right. May see a big draw stroke here. Wonder how much of the 7 he's going to catch. Is he going to come into the 9 off the 7 ball? Watch out for the upper right corner as well. That was a little tentative. You know, you can do as well in this tournament as you want and, you know, carry a lead and whatnot, but you got to feel like for these players, this is the day to really get the feeling of winning the tournament. You really need to just get in that semifinal, and then those records are erased, and then it gets back to what you're used to. Kind of an odd little shot here.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he can kind of roll the 2 somewhere and just nestle up behind the ball. At what point do you try and jack up and get behind the purple and send the 2 into the 7? Is that a bit dangerous, do you think?
I might send it into the 9 and just draw straight back. The 2's got to go forward, really. Good control there. Another jump shot. Going to try and make the 8, I believe. I think that's the play. Could pocket the 2 at the same time. All right, so Chua's going to get a very good look. He can cue the ball nicely, has a little angle. Had a couple choices how to play position on the red 3. Looks like a high ball going 1 rail by the 7. More aggressive, more pure stroke there. Yeah, a little light from nowhere. No, a hair of a concern with the 7, 8, 9 there, but the way the cue ball was opening up, really shouldn't have been too much worry. Now he's got to make a little bit of a shot. How do you want to shoot it? Do you want to roll it? Do you want to draw across 1 rail? Really preference. That'll settle him a little bit.
Yeah, table 2 is now tied at 1 apiece. Yeah, still no sign of Francisco Sanchez Ruiz. He doesn't play 3rd until on table 2, and he's not on table 1 until 4th and 5th, so maybe he feels like he's hit enough balls this week. Spinning the cue ball around, 3 rails. This has got to go some. Similar type of shot to get on the 9, just the other way.
I tell you, grind has been a popular word here this last 7 days or so, and kind of feel like a grind here in this first rack for Chua anyways to get on the board. But that's sometimes, you know, kind of necessary, kind of build a little bit. Now he's in a great position. I mean, it has to almost be a perfect scenario, kind of like for him not to make that Final Four, him and Robbie both.
Neuhausen on table 2 just broke off and scratched. Neuhausen is on 14 points along with Yapp and Jason Shaw. It's Ruiz in third who sits on 16. Capito second on 17. Top of the leader, Chua on 18. Don't forget, out of these six players after the round robin stage, top 4 will go through.
All right, Chua wants to improve off that opening break. Sure he recognized what went wrong. Yeah, much better there. Straight back and forth and going to get a nice reward.
It's been very rare when Chua's not made that one in the side. Every time I seem to watch him break, it just seems to keep going in.
Yeah, I think it was day 1 and 2 where there was a little variance at times, but past that, he's been awesome at it. Wants this to bounce a little bit. Now, this is the type of shot that can get a hair odd. I would check for this side pocket as well. Coming up above on the right side can kill the ball and kind of straighten it out, but it's touchy, let's say, where he can just open this up with a little left spin.
Yeah, yesterday when these two met, it was Chua who got the better of Yapp. Went down to the final rack, 5-4 to Chua.
Yeah, it kind of feels like it's 4 guys fighting for 2 spots, but
Yeah, table 2 yesterday. The matchup between Capito and Neuhausen. It was Capito who won that one 5-3.
yeah, can he kill this? Is he going into the 9 softly? Oh, that's a nice shot.
Yeah, this is always a nice shot on a pool table. Like a bit of a soft stun shot. Just get the cue ball floating over. Like so. Both tables are currently at 1 apiece. Chua's on the 9, Capito's on the 8. These two have traded places at the top spot for days. Chua rams the 9 home. I'll tell you what, Jeremy, been here for 8 days. It's warm in here today.
Yeah, I walked in and it was really nice outside in comparison to yesterday, I thought. Had a nice walk over. No jacket on or anything. A little brisk, but not bad. But last thing I did was come in the venue, and it was a heat wave right when I hit the door.
Yeah, Capito stayed down a minute there on the shot. He was a little bit concerned. Should still be okay, but you do see this type of shot miss from time to time.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the stretch that causes the miss as much as just a missable ball, period. Looks like he's drawn it. Okay, he rolled it. Hard to tell from the monitor sometimes where the tip position's at. But both our top players really settled in, it looked like, on game 3.
Yeah, next up on the TV table, Yapp will stay there. He'll play Jason Shaw. Chua will swap sides. Neuhausen will stay there, and Chua will move over.
Yeah, Jason, of course, he's been talking with us on the practice table on and off, watching the matches on the monitor, and, you know, being a little commentator himself on the side. Sure, does that really well anyways. But I think he had to step out of the venue because he was getting too warm practicing, going to cool off. So now they've each had a break they would like to have back. Just wasn't a good connection. Just hear a lot of clatter there on the balls below the rack. Now, when you see a pink 4 like that, Carl, that's really nasty with the 8, I don't know if it plays by it. I don't think it does. That gives you a lot more freedom with the push out, I think, and just kind of managing a bad situation.
Choosing to go up to the top rail. If this is the first time you've ever watched 9-ball pool, well, A, where have you been? And B, this is a push out.
Yeah, I wouldn't give this one back. After the break, you can push out if you're the breaker on a ball made or the incoming player on a dry break like here. Looks pretty easy to bank the 1, kind of 1 rail off the bottom cushion and put a little inside ball to drop below the 6.
Yeah, so basically here, Yapp at the table, he's trying to look at the options. If he finds something, he's allowed to play the shot. If he doesn't fancy it, he can give it back to his opponent. He's up and down a lot. I think he's spotted your shot.
Yeah, it's real natural, and it usually has such good touch. I feel like dropping below the 6 and using that in the 3-9 is pretty easy. Get the 1 past the side if you can. That way you don't leave the jump. Yeah, no reason to end up short there. 0 reason to end up short.
Yeah, worst case, that 1 has got to go past the middle. It's like leaving a putt short, Jeremy. I'm sure you've done that many times.
Yeah. I could show you one I left short for a pretty big number from about 4 feet. Almost ended my golfing career. You want to call it a career? But yeah, I think that's a pretty big mistake right there from Yapp, and maybe Chua trying to get too much on that first shot. There's a 3-9 combination there. You don't have to worry about the 8 and the 4.
Yeah, I mean, we now know the 4 doesn't go if it did or didn't before. Yeah, there you see the combo Chua may well take on.
That's our gift shop lady in the stands over there, sweating the pool. Lady works the gift shop here at the hotel. On her break, catching a little 9 rocket.
Touting for some business. Come to the shop, guys.
Did he get perfect here to open this off a couple cushions? I thought the 3 passed the 6.
Trying to break a ball out here, isn't it? Yeah, he was trying to get the hook and move the 8 or the 4, more likely the 8, which he did.
Yeah, even if he could see this, I wouldn't be too upset about it if I'm Chua. I mean, leaving a shot, but man, Yapp's looked a little tight here to start. He's really got to come with one if he's going to try and get shape. Now that's the short cue. Not taking too much time, so just must be going for the make in the upper left.
Wow, how sweet did he hit that? The side pocket never moves, but it's a little unfortunate. Here's another look.
3 dead center. Never caught a rail, I don't think. It's really good. Unlucky scratch there.
Yeah, them type of jump shots, potting the ball, they've become a little more scarce just because pockets are just under 4.
Yeah, kind of reminds me of that scratch that was it Duong when he made the 8 Scratching the side on the 9.
Yeah, Hill, right? I think it was against Chua.
Yeah, it sure was. 7 looks a little tight, so it may be a combination. Just got a feeling like maybe the climate in here is going to change. Like maybe I feel a little air more than heat.
It's definitely going to change because Jason's turned the heating down. I mean, it's absolutely red hot in here. Seen him messing with the dials over there. It was a good move. When I walked in at 10 a.m., I thought, what is going on in here?
Well, if the 7 doesn't go, he didn't get that great on the combo because he was kind of shaping up the combo prior to shooting the 6.
We've hit a few balls in the practice area, Jeremy. The practice tables are lightning quick. They're definitely playing quicker than the match tables, aren't they?
Yeah, and these players have put in a lot of practice time, so kind of wonder why, but there's definitely a difference. But I'll tell you those. Go ahead, Carl.
Sorry, I was going to say, could it just be something like the match tables have not been stretched as much as practice area?
Yeah, I mean, if it's just a hair looser, it'll show that quickly. I mean, each day will get considerably slower. I kind of feel like, as the players are so on top of that kind of stuff, we might have heard that. I think it's more like the air. Maybe it's hitting how the moisture's hitting the table from whether it be the heat or the air con. All right, a 3-1 lead here, and Yapp really hasn't got going at all.
Yeah, just a couple of light safeties, isn't it? A bit unlucky on the jump shot.
Yeah, the jump was by far the best from Yapp.
Table 2 action. Cue ball needs to slow down or find a gap. If not, he will go and collect the short cue, which is what he's done. Good week for Neuhausen, though, Jeremy. You know, one of the young guns on the circuit. Been given an invite, and he's handled his invite very well indeed.
Yeah, well, last year he was just right outside that ranking to get the automatic bid to this PLP, and I was really happy to see him get the invite this year.
Little mistake early on, though, in rack 4. Okay, back to table 1. Johann, Chua to break.
And I just, didn't really hash out the math, but I felt like with one win, that qualified him into the Final Four, I think. Kind of felt that way just kind of glancing at it this morning.
We're talking about Chua?
Yeah.
Yeah, top 4 qualify. 6th, 5th, and 4th are all tied on 14 points. So Ruiz has got a 2-point lead. He sits in 3rd. Capito 2nd on 17. Chua's on 18. So Chua's 4 points rather, in front of 4th spot.
Yeah, and only playing 5 here in this 6-man round robin. What a nice layout here. Some work from the 4 to the 5, but with the 6 over the pocket, you can handle a ton. I'll tell you, if the purple's off anymore, I probably just play from underneath here, but I'm sure he'll stun out to the middle. Liked it enough to come in tight. Little stretch here, but shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, the players, the modern day pool player, carry 3 or 4 extensions in the pool bag, don't they, these days? Often, a lot of them start to keep a particular size extension on the cue. Chua doesn't bother with that.
Yeah, it may not be the time to try and come out with an innovative bridge, right? The extensions are used so often.
Yeah, there you can see Chua's cue. He's not mega tall, is he? So that cue probably feels long enough. I know you use a longer shaft on the cue stick, Jared.
Yeah, I use a 30-inch. He wants this to go a little bit, but I've done that for a long time. Standard butt 30-inch shaft since 1999, I believe it was.
So a pull cue would be 58 inches if you bought it from the shop, right?
That's correct. 29 each. Changed, I don't know exactly when. I think it was 56 or 57 back, many years ago.
Yeah, I feel like the snooker cues are 57 inch. A few of them might have gone to 58, but that was seemed to be standard when you buy it off the shelf. Chua's looking good. He's looked great all week, to be fair. But this is the day where you want to turn it on more than anything. Forget the past. Even if you've, I don't want to say scraped through to the final six, but, players' mindsets that have dipped up and down, today's the day.
Yeah, even though those records will be erased for that Final Four, it won't be the round robin, the cumulative scores over so many days, but you still want to keep winning those matches. You want that mojo to continue, and Chua's had a lot of that.
Francisco Sanchez Ruiz is awake. He's in the building.
Yeah, Moritz, just little things in this match so far. Overran that ball. Now he's let him see this too, so the safety should be pretty doable.
Presume there was no carom option there for Robbie.
All right, he's got an edge. I don't know if he can apply a side spin. May have to go behind the 9.
Still may be an edge there.
All right, back to table number 1, and Trill's pretty heavy in this race to 5, so you just got to try and do what you can, but you got to play a lot more matches here, Yapp does, and he doesn't have any type of guarantee like maybe a Capito or Chua or what looks like a guarantee, so just getting a nice rack here or there, even if he doesn't win the match, could really do a lot for him. Not only that, the break shot could do a lot for him, just getting some strokes in with more matches to play.
Yeah, this is a really kind split hit. Good break. The cue ball clattered a couple of balls. It always looks sort of clumsy. But the end result is really nice. Every ball sort of leads on to the next one. So it's what we call a road map.
Yeah, close quarters, nice little angle. He can draw up the side cushion. Now, I want to roll forward here. That way, when he shoots the purple 5, he doesn't have to deal with the black 8 at all. Past that, fairly routine to get another game on the board.
Yeah, I'm just looking at table 2 here. Neuhausen's 3-1 down. He's got an interesting shot. Bit of a cutback long pot. And he nailed it.
Yeah, and that kind of shot, even if he doesn't win this match, can, again, just like Yapp, go a long ways, getting some balls down.
Yeah, day 8. This is the last day. It's a Thursday.
Neuhausen made a good shot on the pink. Not the best on the purple. Got out of line on the green 6 and had a miss. So Capito back at the table. Yapp should get out here. Does keep himself in the match. Looks a hair tentative with it. Just a little.
Yeah, cue ball coming up a little short gives us that indication. Listen, still going to knock these in. Yep, 4-2. We know how quick these matches can spin around. That's what I do like about a race to 5 JJ. Obviously, the Mosconi Cup, we play race to 5s. It's quick, short, and exciting. Neuhausen made a mess of rack number 5. He's at the table, he's kicking at this green 6, which he's just missed.
Did bump the 7 in a bit of a funny spot. Is he drawn into the 7? That could get away. I didn't understand that one exactly. You had to know there's a lot of ways for this to get funny. And with the 8 so playable, I think I just take the 7 on.
Chua and Capito have been neck and neck for 4 or 5 days in this Premier League. It's Chua who is 1 point in front. Obviously, both played the same amount of matches. Chua's won 105 racks. Capito 104. Chua's lost 77. Capito has lost 75. Rack difference is 28-29. That's how close these two have been.
Yeah, and a really good break off there. A little unfortunate to get snookered with such a good spread, making, I think, 3 on the break. Is that right? Looks like it. So both the guys that have been on top are still on top. 4-1 for Capito now. 4-2 you can see for Chua. I think if he could get at the red 3, he would push out and kind of move the 3 and leave some kind of challenge on the 2 for Yapp. But it's hard to make these jumps in the side from these angles. It kind of wants to bobble a bit.
Yeah, if the 6 wasn't there, it'd be tough to pot it in the side. I don't mind jump it. I don't mind that push. It's not going to be easy rolling the cue ball over there. Sometimes you can over hit it or under hit it, but he's so good at this type of cut shot, so I'm sure that's in the back of his mind.
Yeah, and I feel like he figures that, okay, he's going to take the jump on. But, I mean, with a player that maybe looks a hair tentative with Yapp, I think I'd definitely make him show me one from that side rail.
He's looking up into the corner, but that doesn't go in there, does it, JJ? Surely he's going to hit the 7 and bobble away.
Maybe he feels like he's got a better chance to pocket the 7 somehow.
It didn't look big enough, the pocket, just where the brown 7 was sat.
I agree with the pockets we're playing on and the way they played all week. I think you had to almost get lucky where the 2 hit the 7 just full enough to go through it. Any glancing blow, it was going to hang.
Yeah, and to be fair, he hit the jump shot as good as you could have.
Yeah, I agree. Now Yapp again. Not only kind of creeping back in this match, this opener, but gets to get the arm a little more loose, gets to shoot him a few more shots.
Again, a little light on the cue ball. If it rolls another foot, it's ideal. Now he's going to just float this one in. Still a big favourite. Yeah, the 3's just floating, finds the middle. Now he's back where he belongs. Capito is at the table on table 2, 4-1 up. He's just broke off. Doesn't have an easy shot on his blue 2, but the 9 is kind of near the middle pocket. I don't know if he's sizing Somewhat up here.
Yeah, not the easiest of safeties for Capito overall either. The 9's kind of impeding a lot of movement with the cue ball or the 2 ball if you're going to try and get, Moritz stitched up somewhere. Not sure if he was really trying to get at the 9. Feel like if he was, he would have made better contact with it. Certainly trying to get the 2 to a difficult position no matter what that outcome was. But I think Moritz has got to shoot here, try and get his arm going. A little more confident strike there, even though the cue ball a hair short. Still okay.
Four, 3, a couple of racks, back to back for Yapp. And he will have the break to tie this match up. Robbie Capito losing action on table number 2, and he's been near the top of the leaderboard all week long. And he finished at the top at the UK Open in Telford last season. And we are going back there again, May 6th through till the 11th. Can Robbie Capito keep a hold with the UK Open trophy? Tickets available, just head over to Matchroom Pool website. Come and watch the world's greatest. Great venue, Jeremy, wasn't it, last year? Great surroundings, really enjoyed being there. We even played in it ourselves.
Yeah, if you want to call it that. Yeah, it was fun to play, though. Heart got going a little uncontrollable for me, but yeah, great venue. The whole area is real comfortable. What is that, an hour and a half, 2 hours from London by car, something like that? But yeah, a couple hotels, plenty of restaurants, good vibe. And kind of a historic place for Q Sports there in London, right?
Yeah, they've just had the Players' Championship on. Karen Wilson beat Judd Trump. We've seen Judd Trump have a go at a few of the 9-ball tournaments.
Yeah, it's much more the break-off he's wanting. Maybe not the total result, but he's got control.
Chance for the point here. 4 balls to go. At one point, looked like Chua was going to get the big victory. Finished before table 2. Yeah, next on table 2, it will be Chua against Neuhausen. So if Robbie gets the job done here, well, Neuhausen's going to have to wait for Chua. He won't be waiting too long, don't get me wrong. But he will have a little wait.
Yeah, I thought it had to be the jump cue for Chua, especially if he knocks it in. The cue ball should be somewhat on the 3. What an amazing jump shot that was there. Had to jump to 7 and the 6 from close quarters on one and some distance on the other. Deserved a little more than right over the pink 4, but he'll take it. Capito with a chip in to take the first match.
Yeah, and to take top spot back from Chua. Yep, 5-1 over Neuhausen, and that does a favour for Shaw and Yapp because Neuhausen is tied with them two players on 14 points. Here's a look at the Chua jump shot.
Incredible one, really, and little different dynamic today where the players, the way the schedule was, you got at least a match off and whatnot. Here, you got to dive right back in on our final days, so a little more mental stamina and strength required, I think.
Well, from the position Chua was in when he come to the table, he's giving himself a little chance here. Can he go around the back of the 9, JJ?
He likes that. A lot of times he'd rather flow with it, but he can kill at one rail with inside also and come back somewhat where he's at. He's going to dig. He might come 2 rails inside. I don't know.
Yeah, that's not the intention. He wanted to miss the 9.
Still on it, though. May catch a hair of a rub on the 8. I don't think there's really too many problems. Just pay attention to not getting queuing over the 8 somehow. Like if you go one rail.
Yeah, Robbie Capito has gone back on top due to rack difference. 33 for Capito, 28 for Chua. But after this 7 ball, well, he's left himself a bit of a shot here, JJ.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, going forward, 2 rails doesn't offer much in the side. That ball's a good half diamond out or so. So from distance, very hard to get a lot of stun going to the rail and off. I mean, this is tricky. He's going to go forward. This is what most would consider a more missable ball. Now is he just going to let it go here? Or is he just going to cinch it?
Yeah, I was thinking, like, I don't mind going forward. Well, I mean, he's done well there. Just took what the table gave him.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, if he felt like he could keep that cue ball off the cushion shooting it that way, I like his choice.
But I can assure you, this is no gimme.
He may not level out. Man, it kind of hit down on this a little, kind of stun. Rifled it. Just rifled that ball.
Yeah, I always feel like when a player, sort of whacks it at full pace, it's because they're nervous about the shot. I always used to try and tell myself, still cue it normally, and if you miss it, you miss it, but play the shot how it should be played. I mean, hitting it at that pace is ridiculous.
Yeah, well, I did expect speed, but not that much. This is no hanger, even though fairly straight.
Okay, Chua with an opportunity for the point. We're tied at 4s.
Yeah, and especially, kind of after making a real nice, simple kind of stroke on the 8, I thought he might kind of feel the same with just like a medium stun.
Yeah, it all started to fall apart when he lost cue ball control. He didn't really get on the 8 how he wanted. And on these pockets, we've seen it where the player unloads, trying to punch it out. Watch the body movement. Oh, see when he pulled the cue back, he started to stand up. That was just all fundamentally wrong.
Well, this is one of the reasons why you try to win the lag. First one is to get the lead, but second one is just in case it goes to that case game.
Yeah.
First chance.
Sorry, Jeremy, I thought you'd finish. I'm just going to say, let's not be naive. Chua's still in a great spot. We know that. But Yapp, Neuhausen and Shaw will be watching on. Well, not Yapp, sorry, Neuhausen and Shaw, because Yapp's at the table, because they're all on 14 points. If Chua can get this win over Yapp, Neuhausen and Yapp will have lost. Shaw's got a game in hand. on the same points. So players are going to start to watch that leaderboard and the matches. The golden is not there, but he's got a shot of the 2. This is the only thing, Jeremy, what used to bug me with alternate break. Chua's kind of like missed his 9 ball, and then you're the opponent that gets up and slots it in. I know what you're going to say, so you don't need to say it.
What's that?
You're going to come with, yeah, but, you know, swings and roundabouts, it's going to happen to you one day. I get that, but it's just a bit of a bugbearer. I'd still like the break. I actually like a rule where you could play win a break unless you break and run. Have you ever heard that one?
Win a break unless you break and run?
Yeah, so if you break and run,
you turn it over.
You turn it over, but basically what that means is because Yapp won the last rack, he got the break.
Yeah, I get it.
I'm sure there's still a flaw with that, don't get me wrong.
I wasn't going to say, I was going to say along the same lines, but just we tend to not remember, you know, when it's our way.
Yes,
yeah.
I get it.
There's a saying for that. I'm sure there's a few. All right, if he gets out here, he's earned it. Nothing easy at all.
Yeah, very true. He's got a couple of combos to deal with. Well, I'll say a couple. If he gets this one right, he won't choose to play on the combo. He'll try and get him behind the pink.
Easy safety here. I mean, this is one he should feel like he can nestle it up behind the 7. Really comfortable shot. Oh, he's missed it a little bit. He's going to maybe leave a jump onto the 9, maybe even straight at it.
Yeah, I got mistaken with the purple and the pink now. It's actually the first time I've ever mistaken them 2 balls.
Okay, he's fortunate only a portion of the 5 he's got to go over so he can keep some steam on this to where if you have to go over a close one or more of a ball, it's hard to make the kiss shot.
Yeah, here we go. Chase the 9.
And he's got a little backdoor cover. If he can just hit it solid, the pink will be up there maybe near a funny combination of the purple and brown.
Yeah, so the idea is cue ball off the pink into the 9 for the win. That was close, Jeremy.
Yeah, this is going to dress up, though, and with a little angle also. Good effort, though. He probably couldn't imagine getting off the pink to the top of the 9 a little bit. Probably put a little extra, making sure he kept that little draw on the ball. Just pay attention to this one. I think this is a hair missable thinking about the 5-7. All right, he's gotten real nice here. That's the type of shot you'd want to shoot with a little more speed than what you would think. But the 5 could follow through if he draws it a little and gets on the in rail a little awkward.
Yeah, referee keeping an eye on the shirt. Well, Johann Chua rifled a 9 in the previous rack. Missed it by somewhat, left Yapp in. Yapp slotted it home to tie it up. He's in here. Wants to, yeah, that's all right. He can come back out, can't he? So, certainly looks like he's going to get the job done. Even with a little bit of drama at the end.
Yeah. Can't take anything for granted, though. You talked about the practice table being fast. We haven't hit balls on the main tables, but those pockets are no joke. No miss here, and I think both players will settle in as the day goes on. So Johann Chua keeps winning. Yapp fought back. We'll have a couple of them back out here in a moment on table 1 and 2. Stay tuned.
say, and the West Midlands, for what should be one cracking tournament. Moving on. That's not. Oh, you've got to be joking. Great shot, division. Robbie, Capito, unleashes emotion.
Ok, Lêu Sen phá nhá. Right break. Còn chết cái nữa. Bàn này còn tình huống con 2, con 8, con 4, con 5. Giờ ăn một điều là sau cái 3 đầu 8 thì đẹp. Ui, gãi được cả hai kìa. Nhưng quấy 3 đầu 8 thì đẹp hơn. 3 đầu 4 xong sượt mất má 8, con cái trượt xuống rồi. Không sao. Chua bảo quả này vẫn đơn giản. Nào, giải đi. Ui, hết rồi đấy. Lực hơi mạnh tí, không sao. Trước bàn giao 4 đẹp luôn rồi. Có 4 ra 5 thôi. Có 4 ra 5 này cần chi tiết một tí này. Ok, đẹp nhất rồi, đẹp nhất ra 6 rồi. Cái mà gần băng của ấy thì hơi xấu. Đây thì đẹp nhất rồi. Một một. Đây khẳng định 1-1 được rồi. Bàn bên cạnh Yapp đánh Yapp với Shaw. Table 1. Vòng này là đánh đến 2 giờ sáng nhé. 2 giờ sáng thì sẽ đánh luôn bán kết và chung kết. Hôm nay ngày cuối rồi anh em ạ. Ngày kia thì sẽ còn giải Capito Open. Hai trận đầu là Chua thắng 5-4 và Capito 5-1. Tôi xem cú đề pa của Johann Chua. Ôi, ông kia tặng cái, ông này giờ cũng tặng cái lốt. Quả này còn tơi nữa. Tơi này thì 2-1 rồi. Đánh 5 lỗ 10 này lắc không? Nào, lắc không? Không, vẫn giữa hòm. Hết rồi. Ui, ông nào làm vỡ cốc. Làm lêu sen giật mình luôn. Điểm rồi đây. Ông nào dạ tinh thần lêu sen rồi. Ok, vẫn giữa hòm. Ok, quả này không chết cái nữa. Nhưng cú đề pa này chưa ăn được 2. Con này đẩy 2 giờ sau chỗ 35 kia. Chắc là sau này sau con 5 thì đẹp. Cái về lại chỗ này. Không, dấu cái cơ, thủ cái cơ, không thủ 2. Liệu Chua nhảy vào lung tung có chết 9 như hôm qua không? Không, còn là không chết 9 nữa. Chỗ tôi trẻ con hơi nhiều. Đuôi không? Hai con đường rồi đấy. Yapp đang thắng so 2-0 nhé. Tầm này chắc chưa cần xem bảng xếp hạng làm gì đâu. Trận tiếp theo này, Chua đánh xong Chua lại vào luôn này, Chua lại vào gặp so luôn này. Yapp đánh xong Yapp cũng vào gặp Chua luôn này. Bên so đánh xong so cũng vào gặp Chua luôn này. Nói chung ngày hôm nay là căng này. Đây, cái rui này đánh liên tiếp luôn. Hai giờ sáng. Kịch bản như nào á? Cứ thắng hết thôi, thắng hết là chắc chắn. Đây, vẫn cạnh tranh được với so mà, kể cả rui nữa, cho nên cứ thắng được hết thì vào, hoặc ít nhất là thắng so với rui thì cơ hội vào cao. Nói chung là ở đây là hai ông này đều còn cơ hội, không tranh được với Capito và Chua thôi. Capito với Chua thì chắc chắn là vào bán kết rồi. Bán kết chắc là 3 giờ sáng đánh. Xong rồi chung kết thì chắc là 5 giờ sáng đánh. 3 giờ, không, phải là 5 rưỡi. Sau giải này thì lại cái giải ở Mỹ, Seattle. Giải cũng ít cầu thủ. Định ăn gian mà không được. Lỗ này khó ăn gian quá. Với định ăn gian hơi nhiều. Trận đấu nhàm chán nếu cầu thủ yêu thích của bạn đã bị loại. Ông này người Indonesia. Chắc chắn thì sẽ có giải UK Open thì nó chắc chắn. Còn xem mấy cái giải ở châu Mỹ sắp tới có 4 giải. Xong cái giải này bắt đầu từ ngày 28 thì chắc là không đi đánh đâu, vì giải ít tiền. Chắc filler chả đi làm gì, mất công bay sang Mỹ. Sau đấy thì có giải của UK Open và World Championship thì sẽ đánh mấy giải ấy thôi. Kể cả lúc ấy cánh anh Hoàng cũng đánh tiếp, còn lại thì cánh anh Hoàng về Việt Nam đánh thôi. Rồi mấy ông Philippines hay là mấy ông Đài Loan, Hồng Kông các kiểu thì cùng lắm thì về Việt Nam đánh tiếp mấy giải ấy thôi. Thì đúng rồi, nhiều tiền mới tham gia chứ. Kể cả Việt Nam cũng thế, chứ đi xa mà ít tiền thì tham gia làm gì, đúng không? Tổng 4 giải ở Mỹ sắp tới đây còn không bằng cái giải Euro Open vừa rồi mà. 4 giải ở Mỹ kia tổng lại thì mới được có 150 mấy triệu thôi mà. €150.000 còn 150.000 đô, quên mất. Còn giải Euro Open là được 200.000 đô mà. Hôm trước mình có cái lịch các cái giải thi đấu sắp tới mà mình lại để đâu mất rồi. Không cho mọi người xem. Mình để ý mà. Mình đang phân vân cái giải chiết thổ này mình có livestream hay không. Giải kiểu như là cũng không có cơ thủ thế giới nổi tiếng ấy. Giải có Kyler Woodward. Còn lại thực sự là toàn mấy cơ thủ ở Mỹ thôi. À, cô Johann cũng sang bên đấy đánh này. Ông này người Indo này. Cũng sang bên đấy đánh này. Cũng sang giải ở Mỹ đánh này. Ông này không về. Giải này thì ít cơ thủ lắm. Hôm trước mình vừa xem có cái lịch. Lịch đâu hết rồi. Con 4 đập một bằng dài, đẩy con cái xuống chỗ con 5 được không? Hay làm ngược lại, hay là đẩy 4 cái ra. Đẩy 4 xuống cái ra. Đây, ai có muốn xem lịch không? Mình có cái lịch thi đấu này. Lịch và giải thưởng thi đấu sắp tới này. Nếu ai muốn xem lịch thì bảo mình nhé. Ok, như vậy đợi nốt cái này nhé thì mình cho mọi người xem cái lịch. Nốt quả đây để bật cái lịch lên cho mọi người xem này. Đấy, liều sen cứ thắng thì sẽ chắc chắn được vào. Thắng hết đi. Đây nhá, cho mọi người xem cái lịch thi đấu nhé. Đây là giải sắp tới này. Cũng có 1 này, 2 này, 3 này. Đây, xem xuống đây đi. Đây là cái giải 10 đánh xong này. Đây là cái giải tiếp theo này, giải này đang đánh này. Giải này 4 giải này là giải ở Mỹ. Mọi người nhìn tổng tiền thưởng này. Tổng tiền thưởng này được 140 mấy thôi. Cho nên 4 giải này ở tận chỗ bên Mỹ cơ. Thì ở Việt Nam mình chắc không ai đi đâu. Tiền cũng ít, mấy ông châu Âu chắc cũng ít người đi. Thì sang đến Cotic Open này khả năng anh Hoàng sẽ được mời này. Anh Hoàng mời đi để bảo vệ chức vô địch này. Thì khả năng anh Hoàng sẽ được mời này. Còn giải V10 Open này thì chưa chắc đã đi đâu. Còn giải này từ 24 đến 27. 24 đến 27 này, 30. Phần Lan với Scotland cũng có thể anh Hoàng sẽ đi thêm giải này nữa. Và giải Cotic Open thì đây. Thì cái giải này có thể thêm mấy ông châu Âu này, mấy cái giải châu Âu thì sẽ thêm mấy ông châu Âu này, có thể có filler này. Vì ở luôn bên đấy mà, Scotland mà, với Phần Lan mà. Xong rồi xuống đây thì có UK Open là cái giải có tiền thưởng lớn này. Thì kiểu gì cái anh Hoàng cũng đi này. Và Morocco là giải này tiền thưởng cũng hơi ít. Còn 6 đến 11, 14 đến 18 thì khả năng này sẽ ở lại đánh luôn cái giải này. Còn giải này thôi, ít quá. Giải này cũng thôi, ít quá. Ở đây là Florida Open Pool Championship. Giải này chắc chắn là sẽ đi rồi. Tiền thưởng nhiều thế này mà. Còn nếu hai giải này có gần nhau không? Vòng 5 đến mùng 10 tháng 8 đều ở Mỹ. Và đến tháng 8, giữa tháng 8 có giải US Open nữa này. Giải này tiền thưởng lớn nhất thì phải. Nếu nhớ không nhầm là như thế. Đó, thì đây là lịch đến tháng 8 này. Còn cái giải Seattle này 200.000. Lấy 200.000 nhé. Đây có cái ông gì nhỉ? Ông người Indo. Đây là một người Indo này. Còn ông nữa Kyler này. Nãy thấy có ông Korongan mà. Đây có 2 ông Indo thôi. Giải này thế thôi. Còn đây UK Open này 200.000 này. Đó. Giải này chắc chắn là cái anh Hoàng sẽ đi rồi. Tiền thưởng thế này cơ mà. Việt Nam mình khả năng có ít nhất là anh Hoàng. Thì đánh giải này thì ở lại đánh Morocco luôn. Nhớ năm ngoái là cũng đánh cái Morocco này phải. Thì nếu đánh thì đánh liền. Cotic Open thì được mời rồi. Kiểu gì cũng mời. Ok, chúng ta quay lại trận đấu nhé. Vừa quay lại cái Chua đi chấm này. Hôm trước mình xem cái lịch là còn có cả Hà Nội Open các thứ cơ, nhưng trong này không hiện. Hôm trước xem lịch có hết cả Hà Nội Open, World Championship các kiểu. Phá lỗi đi, cho Chua đi chấm. Khó rồi. Khó rồi. Ok. Nhớ nhá. Không vào sâu được thì nhớ donate cho tôi nhé. Mà vào sâu được thì nhớ donate cho tôi nhé. Vô địch thì càng phải donate cho tôi nhé. Bốn ra 5, không vấn đề gì. Mấy cái bi này chắc là chỉ sợ bắn lỗi thôi. Sáu lỗ 10. 7 ghép 8. Đen nhất là 7-8 nó chết luôn. Má con 6 hơi xấu, nhưng chắc không sao. Má này vẫn sửa được. Ok. 53. Ok. Tôi biết ông Lịch, ông này từ đầu giải đến giờ rồi. Chua lại vào luôn này. Chua lại ngồi lại để xem luôn. Lêu sen lên thứ 26, lên thứ 4 rồi nhé. So với Giáp xuống rồi. Bây giờ là so đánh xong bàn kia thì so với Chua sẽ đánh luôn nhé. Còn bàn này sẽ là Capito với Rui. Đây, so đánh xong bàn này, so ngồi lại luôn. Chua vào đánh luôn.
It's weird that shot when you draw with inside, when you first learn it as a pool player, it's like the coolest shot ever. Then you play the rest of your pool career trying to avoid it.
Chua với
Weird
So
how it
đánh
comes
xong
out.
thì Aloysius lại vào đánh nhé. Aloysius thì lịch nó hơi nhàn chút.
Cue ball went a little wider than I expected there, but it wasn't too much worry.
Không có liên tiếp nhiều như cánh Chua. Chua liên tiếp sát quá. Aloysius hầu như có thời gian nghỉ.
All right, just enough angle.
Như Yapp đây, Yapp đánh xong với Chua cái Yapp lại vào trận với So luôn này.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It's nice and smooth, don't overpower it. Yeah, and that's exactly what he's done. He's gotten the max out of it. It's about as far.
Nói chung là giải lại cái sức bền nhiều. Ông nào thể lực yếu thì chịu.
Yeah, so Jason really didn't have much to look at the first few games, and yeah, playing very well now. But it's been a real solid match by both players.
Exactly, Jay. It was literally the combination jump. Jason hit almost
Đấy,
perfect.
nhìn trên màn hình đây này. So đánh xong này. Thì So ngồi lại đánh với Chua này. Đó. Rồi Capito với Rui này. Đánh Rui đánh xong này, lại gặp Aloysius này. Đốt thể lực cực kỳ luôn. Yapp với Capito này, rồi Rui này với So tiếp này. Đây là trận cuối, rồi đây là đánh buổi sáng. Sáng thì đánh đây là đến 2 giờ sáng này. 2 giờ sáng đánh xong trận này thì rơi vào tầm 2 rưỡi. 2 rưỡi 3 giờ. Nghỉ một tí thì 3 giờ đánh tiếp. 3 giờ thì đánh từng trận một chẳng hạn. Từng trận một thì cứ cho là rơi vào khoảng tầm 4 giờ xong. Thì 5 giờ đánh tiếp. 4 rưỡi 5 giờ đánh tiếp. Thế nào hôm nay hôm nay đấy. Tôi cũng mệt nốt hôm nay thôi. Thiếu ngủ cực kỳ luôn anh em ạ.
Day 8 against Robbie Capito.
Yeah, pretty quick in the final takeaway there, Jay, with his backswing. I think he's getting a little more mustard into it, and that might be causing it. It has worked out for him.
1-2 không vấn đề gì rồi.
Yeah, no. I think if Jason just, of course,
1-2, 2-3
never going
không
to
có
be
vấn
one
đề
that
gì.
stalls at the table. But if I feel like, anyways, from what I'm seeing and what I've seen all week, he just makes sure he doesn't take any ball for his way. You know what I mean? We all kind of have our own way of doing that. I just don't really see him missing something that's
Nói
pretty
chung là
open.
bàn tới lắm
I
rồi.
don't care what the degree of difficulty is, really. All right, they've teed it off already. No time wasted here on day 8. Robbie Capito won the lag and has had a great break off. He got a little warning from the referee yesterday as far as the soft break or possibly an issue with that, and he certainly picked up the speed here, that being Robbie.
Yeah, a little thin hit right there in the pink. Jason seemed a bit stunned about it.
Yeah, and actually allowed it to where the cue ball didn't fall down as much, so he's got to shoot this a little different than maybe his original plan.
Definitely didn't want to connect with the 9. It's not going to stop anything.
Okay, just 2 cushions right at that 9 ball. No reason to really run it much more than that. Play the 9 and lower right. So high tariff match here. Very good stuff by both players. And again, just like the first match, this is why you win those lags. So not only to get the lead,
Mickey vẫn ở Việt Nam để đánh giải đây.
case game. you get the first stab at it.
And we get the feeling today you're going to have a few more of those case games than others because both players, well, top 6 here, really at their best.
Yeah, here's table 2, the draw stroke. Just needs it maybe middle diamond, something like that. Went ahead and came all the way back. Gonna be off the rail. The 7 very handy, so nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, wants to get past the 7 just to be able to drift down onto the right side of the table. He's got football field to work with here on the 7.
Yeah, just let it open up with that left spin.
Yeah, look at the focus and the intent on getting the cue ball off the rail there, nice and tight to the 8. Stuff like that will keep you dialed in going forward with your position.
Well, what I like about Robbie that I've seen, and this is all the great players, but it's hard to really do it so well so often, is he's never really steered a shot the entire week, I felt like. I mean, he's just went ahead and got through the ball, going to trust what's going on, and looky here. Great break off and a little frustration, and I don't blame him.
Yeah, heartbreak hotel for Yapp, especially if Shaw can finish this off right off the top of the 9. And that's what we see, though. If they catch the top of the 9, a lot of times it goes in the side. If not, they get the bottom of it and it goes in the corner. You want more power off of that 9.
Yeah, and that's, on the other end of it, it's feast or famine there because that's what really promotes a lot of those golden breaks as well, as that kiss there on the cue ball. Now, Jason kind of pointed at a grouping with the 5 and the 6, I think it is. And it doesn't go to lower left, doesn't go lower right. But you got to be a pretty happy camper to be getting ball in hand here after a pretty cold roll for Yapp.
Yeah, and I think it's a pretty big side pocket to the right for sure. Can play into a defensive position if he doesn't get there, obviously. Might go to the lower right, Jeremy. Looks tight, but it might go due to where the 4 is.
Yeah, and he wants to roll here and I think fall dead straight. I really do. I mean, he could come out for the 5 in the left or the bank on the purple to the right middle, but I think he's going to roll across and try and fall straight here.
Yeah, I think he needs to get straight. Yeah, it's not going to do it.
No? No, it's not. It's a little shy and stretched. And not much angle to really get across either, so he kind of fell in that position that he didn't want at all.
And he's so stretched, I don't think he can beat the 7 coming around 3 rails. There would have been a good line there, maybe.
Yeah, when the cue ball's so close like that, hard to generate that forward momentum. So I think he'll come back, and I think he'll stay aggressive with the bank on the 5 if he falls in position.
Yeah, he's definitely got to come back. There's no doubt.
No, I don't know.
I think so. He's got to. He can't go forward just because of the stretch, right?
Yeah. He's gotten on the rail here, and there's not a whole lot of places to go run for cover.
Con năm này tính làm gì đây?
Play to the lower left.
I agree with that. And I tell you, he could maybe play them both here. Play the bank and the 6, and now he may
Cái
have to
room.
shoot the 7 from some distance if he makes them both, but that's okay.
À, cửa lỗ rồi.
Wow. Really felt
Không
like
sao,
the speed it
con
was
5 chưa ăn
using,
được.
it was gonna drop. Table
Con 7 chặn kia rồi,
up
chưa ăn được.
on day 8.
Yeah, I don't know if he's left a pocket for the 5 or not. I feel like there is a portion there and may go for the bank onto the combination here on the 6.
I like
Ông nào bảo mấy ông nước ngoài donate cho tôi cái.
here, Jeremy. I think
Đòi
that's the
xem.
biggest ball as well. It's not in a
Low
bad
donate.
position, the green 6. It's going to take the extension. I think he's got to shoot that, Jay. I think it's a bigger pocket than cutting the 5 to the top right.
Oh, 100%. And the other part about it is you could bank the 5 back down and try and get him behind the 7, but you leave a jump or a kiss shot onto the 6. You got to take it in your own hands here. Don't baby it.
He didn't, and it's going to get away, so he's going to be in a good spot here.
You like ball in hand almost right here on the 5.
Yeah, and you see Jason Shaw move his legs up there at the top of your screen.
Hay.
Really kind of fell a little funny on the pink 4, though. If you're Shaw, can't say much about it. The 6 did hold up. Table's already
Nào,
getting
lốt con
tight.
5. Được 7, 8 không vấn đề gì rồi.
You put a little spin here to get a natural on the 7 to run. That's what I like. Yeah, a little spin here. He's perfect. Hey, and they just played a great set here. You know, if I'm in Jason's corner, I just tell him, hey, you just played well. I love you attacking right there on the 6 and maybe trying to bank that 5 ball. Just one of them matches.
Is he following this versus a stun, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's the stun.
Hay Yapp ơi. Đây rồi. Cho sò ở nhà đi nào.
Yeah, I like what I saw from Yapp this entire match, to be honest.
Và bán kết 3 người châu Á cùng vào thì hay anh em nhỉ.
Yeah, high quality from both players. And
Capito,
we've seen most of that.
Yapp,
All the
Chua.
players that have played so
Quá hay
far.
luôn.
Haven't got to look at FSR much, but we'll.
Mọi người thích xem trận Rui với Capito hơn hay là thích xem trận So với Chua hơn? Mọi người thích xem trận nào hơn? Anh em Việt Nam đâu rồi? Sao lại san với Chua, So với Chua chứ? Ok. tôi cũng sẽ xem trận ý nhá. So với Chua nghe hay hơn. Kệ mấy ông nước ngoài. Tôi sẽ xem trận Chua với So nhé. Còn ai muốn xem trận Capito với Rui thì có thể donate tôi để lại nhé. Còn 7 chạy đâu? Đuôi rồi. Đuôi chặt rồi. Lấy gậy nhảy thôi. Cho nhẹ con cái về là được. Con cái tí bay ra khỏi bàn. Nói chung giải này anh Hoàng nhảy vẫn ok nhất. Trận này sẽ cổ vũ cho ba anh em châu Á. Chua với Capito thì gần như là ok vào rồi. Có Yapp thôi. Yapp thì phải cạnh tranh nhiều.
I think it's the other way around, guys.
Còn 2 ra 3 khó này.
Welcome back to finals day here in Sarajevo.
Đây, cặp đôi đẹp, hay, trận này hay, quá hay.
Just tuned in, you'll have seen Jason Shaw lose a hill match against Aloysius Yapp. Scott and Jeremy was in the booth. I didn't see the end.
Ai đánh trước?
I believe it was Hill.
Đánh lại à? Đặt con bi khác vào vô. Em ai đánh trước? Lại thêm ông nữa vào nhìn. Lấy một con bi đặt vô, đúng rồi. Đặt vô nào. Đo khoảng cách. Chua phá trước.
Aloysius Yapp scratched on the break. The 5-6 were tied up. But you got to be honest with yourself, right? You didn't get straight on the 4, and that's what Jason needed to do. Played a carom, hung the 6 in the lower left, and Yapp played really good the entire match. Speaking about playing very good, the guy at the table, Carl, it seems like we just continue to talk about how good he is.
Quên, chưa bỏ cái này. Quên mất chưa bỏ cái bảng tỷ số. Ui Chua ơi.
Now Jason Shaw, he's in a spot of bother because he's in 6th place, which is bottom of the league in phase 3. Just 6 guys left. He's on 14 points. Yapp's 15, Neuhausen 15, Ruiz 16, Capito 18, Chua 19.
Cho người ta hy vọng chứ Tuấn Phạm ơi.
Shaw and you get through that last match with a loss, don't let it compound and affect you here. Man, real thin on the purple. Just going to go past the 8, I guess, and take the steep to the right.
Table 2, Ruiz against Capito. It's the first time we've seen Ruiz in action today.
Shaw, one of those players, Carl, we both know it.
Cái trận Neuhausen với Yapp là mấy giờ đánh nhỉ? Trận đó là rất quan trọng với quyết định xem Neuhausen hay Yapp vào đấy. Hai đối cạnh tranh trực tiếp. Yapp với Neuhausen. Là vào 1:30. 1:30 nha. Trận này quyết định xem là ai vào đấy. Nếu với phong độ mà ai cũng thắng thì là trậnนี้sẽ là trận quyết định nhé.
Ruiz has just played the safety and he's the only player out of the 6 who's lifted silverware in this tournament. He knows what it takes to win.
Yapp chỉ số thì hơi thấp hơn so với Neuhausen, cho nên Yapp bắt buộc phải thắng. Mình thì kỳ vọng 3 ông Việt Nam vào. Ông còn lại thì khả năng là Rui rồi. Châu Mỹ thì loại hết rồi.
Yeah, he might have given him another 5 minutes. You got more than that from him, but you never know with Jason.
Mình sẽ bình luận đến trận chung kết luôn.
This shot here, the break shot, has been very good for short.
This is what we noticed last match, though, Carl. He didn't make the one, really putting a lot of extra power into it. I don't even know if he notices that he's trying to hit these balls so much harder. And I mean, the ones just continued to
Trận
do
này
that
tôi sẽ
same
cổ vũ
thing.
Yapp
He's
để
gotten
Yapp
away
thắng.
with it, making something somewhere else. Frustration compiling on dead
Yapp là
weight.
thắng so rồi. Yapp mà thắng tiếp Leo Sen nữa thì quá hay luôn. So đã mệt lắm rồi. Đánh liên tục. Nhìn mặt kìa.
It's the biggest shot of the rack. That's why they take it so seriously. It's the break. They don't feel like they've got that wired down. And everything else is, well, it's kind of a moot point at this level. Kind of in between here, Carl.
Từ ngày 20 đến 27.
The cue ball
Bạn
back,
đoán xem là mấy ngày?
maybe running into the red three. All depends on if the cue ball is obstructed by the 8. I don't think it is. I think you can get a flat cue to it. There you see. Got to come back across though. Don't hit the 8 ball with the cue ball. Yeah, very good at that shot.
Okay. Shouldn't be an issue, but kind of the awkward line on the purple here. Just going to punch forward, I believe.
Nào, con 6 cần chắc tay này. Lốt con 6 là chắc hết bàn rồi. Ok rồi đấy. Một đều. Đến tầm này một đều được rồi. Chua chắc không lỗi mấy con này đâu.
Does he kind of cinch it and just hold the cue ball? Yeah, he knew he was going to go a little closer to the rail, but it's off the rail. That's all that matters. And there it is, one apiece.
Đúng rồi, đánh xoay vòng nốt lượt này thôi.
To make the semi-finals.
Xong rồi là đêm nay, quên sáng mai của mình, đêm của họ là chung kết luôn nhé. Bán kết với chung kết luôn. Mọi người nhớ xem lốt nhé. Đúng rồi. Mình đây thức 8 ngày là mình cũng đủ chết mệt rồi. Họ đây lại còn ăn với chọc liên tục luôn. Mệt. Sáng mai là xong hết rồi. Là trong ngày 27 của họ, mình đây là sang ngày 28. Chung kết khả năng rơi vào tầm 5 giờ. Bình thường bên đấy vẫn đánh đến 6 giờ, 6 rưỡi mà. Thì chung kết rơi vào khoảng 5 giờ. Vòng này thì đến mấy giờ nhỉ? Ui chua. Tí chết cái nữa. Vòng này là đến 2 rưỡi là xong. 2 rưỡi xong thì chọn ra 4 người đánh bán kết rồi. 4 người thì đánh từng trận một
Take that back.
thì rơi vào khoảng tầm
Top left, Carl.
4 rưỡi.
7 not so tough.
Yeah.
Nói chung là vào đến
Yours, Jason's
bán kết thì ai cũng cơ hội cao hết.
I think he's playing off the right edge though. Separation.
Yeah, back to
Well,
Ui, so đánh quả hay thế.
imagine teasing Shaw with that one.
yeah, a little disrespect right there, and Shaw said, "Come on with it."
Yeah, you can only imagine he didn't.
Nói
have
chung là
that
mình cổ
big
vũ ba ông châu Á
pocket.
để ba ông châu Á vào.
Yeah, so how bothered is
Chung kết
Shaw
mà lội chiến châu Á được càng hay.
That just tells you right there the guy's a complete animal.
Đúng rồi, so đánh chắc tay thật.
He's on the rail. He hasn't got a full pocket.
Nhưng con 7 khó nhé.
He's tied up as well, so
Con 7 so là hay lỗi lắm.
goes game. He's still got to land in this little gap.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm not disagreeing with the push by any means. More of a teaser or a tester than anything. Shaw might be one of the only people still in the event that can knock it down.
This has got to go, Scott. This needs to go.
Nhưng mà ấy còn mỗi cái đường đánh xa.
I feel like it's just gotten there. He didn't want to be over the 8, but
Nào,
could
lắc
use
không?
another rotation or two.
Không lắc.
Yeah,
Ok.
just aims high ball. Make sure you go through the cue ball with your cue.
7 ăn như thế này bảo không còn đường.
That's the prime example why I do like the push out though.
Yeah, a little bit of gamesmanship right there, right? I mean, Shaw knows
Vẫn nhanh và
he's
mượt.
set up. He's got another guy equally as straight a shooter right behind him. But what was impressive to me is as frustrated as Shaw was.
Rui với Capito thì đang 1-2 nhé.
Just gets down and drills the blue two.
Yeah, it was a beautiful piece of cueing. And I'm
Đấy,
sure
bật lại lịch cho anh em xem nhé.
now he would say, listen, that two ball was tight past the 6.
Trận cuối cùng của vòng này là đến 2 giờ sáng. Thì tầm 2 rưỡi đánh xong.
Over on table 2.
3 giờ thì đánh tiếp bán kết.
Sanchez Ruiz, he's kind of just, I wouldn't say he's gone under the radar, but he's never really topped the table, has he? Just been going about his business. He's in 3rd place, stands alone on 16 points.
Yeah, I kind of feel like what you just said with
Bà ấy không biết đánh nhé.
the story with him.
Emily
for
Fraser.
8 days. It's just not stood out to us, but he's been there the whole time. Kind of odd. Really.
Bà ấy yêu bia nhưng lại
Yeah,
không biết đánh.
probably the best way to go about this league format. Kicking at this red 3. Probably
Đúng
just
rồi,
wants to
Chua
shoot
thua Aloysius.
after the center pocket. Went
Ui,
into
tí
the
chết kìa.
head ball, he needs a bit of love.
Chua hiện tại là đang thắng 1, thua 1.
Telling you now, though, Jason,
Đây là trận thứ
how
3
many
của
times
Chua.
his matches, he's picked up the speed on the break shot, and that can
Đêm nay Chua đánh 2 trận đấy.
where the one's going.
Ui,
Look at this, he's picked up the speed on the 9 as well because it's just found
golden break
the
luôn.
corner, Carl.
Yeah, the golden break, always nice when they come. I think it was the cue ball off one rail. Yeah, cuts it into the corner.
Thực ra bây giờ Chua chỉ cần thắng 2 trận thôi là chắc chắn vào rồi. Đánh 5 trận, Chua thắng 2 trận là được rồi. Chua vẫn chắc chắn vào. Coi như là đánh để giữ sức. Chứ không cần phải cố gắng thắng làm gì. Hoặc là cứ đánh chỉ Chua thôi, thua cũng được.
But they say that it all equals out over time, and I guess, I don't know, is that a little fortunate there? He hit the break shot great, but I kind of feel like he earned it. That long blue
Không lại cố quá đến lúc đánh bán kết thì lại đuối. Đây lại còn 3 trận liên tiếp đấy. Yapp thì bắt buộc phải cố gắng thôi. Hơi buồn là Chua lại thắng Yapp. Thắng Yapp lại thua Aloysius. Ngược lại thì hay hơn.
A very easy clearance.
Nào,
Mistake has
phơi hết
cost
đi.
2 racks, not 1.
Just seems to be a tradition in rotation pool. Make a mistake or overlook something, you're going to get punished not once but twice. I think he's going to go with the bank here.
Cân luôn ha.
He double kissed that ball. Pretty certain he double kissed it. I'm sure we'll get another look.
Yeah, we could see in the distance Ruiz winning rack 4, 3-1.
Well, that just looked odd to me, so I don't really know exactly whether he was trying to get below the 3 or not. I can't tell.
Yeah, we'll give Chua the benefit of the doubt. Pretend he was playing safe. Tough shot here, though. Oh, he's nailed this freeze. He has nailed it.
Yes. The spark has been lit.
Playing it with a bit of left as well. Can't stress how much that makes the pot more tricky.
Yeah, exactly, Carl. You've got to catch the 2 going
Lại
in
4-1
in order
rồi.
to hit it that well and just barely catch it going in.
Nhìn bàn này với
He won't
so đơn
ever
giản lắm.
bend to the top left corner.
Vòng sau là đánh bán kết rồi, không có cộng dồn nữa bạn ơi.
Making a statement so
Bán
far.
kết là
He's
ai cũng có
punch
cơ
around
hội rồi.
2 rails or just take it 1 rail up. Looks like he's punching 7 to the right middle.
Well, after a loss where you've had a chance in the final rack, and then you've got to stay on the
Cái đó thì
side
mình không biết đâu.
yourself up for the
Sới
next
Hoàng,
match.
mình không biết mấy cái đâu. Cái do cảm nhận từng cơ thủ thôi. Còn nói chung là với họ thì bàn nào cũng được. Nhiều tiền là được. Cứ giải nhiều tiền là được. Theo quan điểm mình là thế. Giống như anh Hoàng ấy. Taylor Pool còn đánh cơ mà. Cứ có tiền là được. Có tiền thì bàn nào cũng chơi. Tiền phải nhiều. Cái bàn xịn bàn ngon mà giải ít tiền thì cũng chưa chắc đã đánh đâu.
Let's have a little dive over to table 2, where there's a big match going on.
Trận tiếp theo là Moritz Neuhausen với Rui ở bàn bên cạnh. À, vẫn bàn này. Rui đánh sang bên kia, Rui sang bàn này đánh luôn này. Yapp với Capito. Yapp có thắng Capito đi Yapp.
Can he get past the 6 though? I don't know that you can knock the 2 up. That's what he's worried about. He can't knock the 2 up past the pink without colliding with the 6. So what do you really got? Can you just chip it towards the 6 or maybe below it? This is awkward actually.
Fire at the bank, top left corner.
Bàn này có kích thước tiêu chuẩn rồi. Kiểu là khác nhau ở cái lỗ thôi, kích thước lỗ các kiểu thôi. Lỗ với mỏm lỗ thôi, còn kích thước bàn tiêu chuẩn rồi. Bàn pool là tiêu chuẩn rồi. Bàn pool là có 3 loại thì phải, 3 hay 4 loại. Còn như mình bảo rồi đấy, quan điểm vẫn là giải nào nhiều tiền. Còn người ta đã chơi được cái này thì bàn nào người ta cũng chơi được. Anh Hoàng còn chơi cả Carom cơ mà. Nhưng Carom này anh ấy chơi cho vui thôi.
I'd get rid of the extension. I'd just make it 40 seconds a shot across the board. Never understood that one.
It's the first I've heard of that one. Let me process for a moment.
Cái đó thì mình không rõ đâu. Vì mình có được chơi đâu mình biết. Cũng không biết được quan điểm của các cầu thủ thế nào. Ôi tạch rồi. Thôi, Chua chấp nhận thua rồi đấy. Thua cũng được, nghỉ cho sớm. Đêm nay 2 trận thì thắng trận cuối là được rồi. Thắng trận
We've
cuối
actually
rèn tay.
seen
À, trận
one.
cuối gặp Capito đấy. Trận cuối này gặp Capito.
I was going to tell you what we've seen this week, but I might test you instead, Scott. That's why I just stalled on my
Đánh xong giờ về nghỉ ngơi.
one line there. What have we seen
Nghỉ ngơi lấy lại sức.
this week
Đêm còn
out
đánh
of
bán
one
kết.
player only?
Well, Yapp switched from wood to carbon.
That's one thing. Wasn't the thing I was talking about, but we'll give you half a point.
Well, I don't even know where you're leading here with your question. So.
SVB, 3 fouls. He's the only player in the tournament to get someone on 3 fouls.
I wasn't covering that match, so I get half a point for that as well. Yeah, look at this. Okay, listen.
Sò không cho về sớm luôn.
Here's the thing. He got lazy.
Sò vẫn bắt Chua phải vào đánh. Nhảy chết 7 không? Nhảy chết 7 Chua lại phải vào đánh.
Yeah, so you're saying aim low left and swing it around too, so you're coming away from the net.
100%. No reason to just check it up.
I like it. He doesn't like it though.
Không chết rồi.
Oh, he's going to be absolutely sick because
Chua
he
bảo.
would have had a flawless.
Tôi chán lắm rồi ông ơi. Ông lại còn bắt tôi vào đánh.
7 doesn't pass the 8, which it doesn't look like it does. He's got away with one here. If Shaw comes over and moans about pool gods after this match to me, I might just give him a couple of slaps around the head and say, "Wake up, son! Come on, you're playing well. Things are going your way as well."
Thôi cứ game 7-8 thôi, trượt thì trượt.
He's going to chip it to the left, real thin here. Gonna have to dig very deep.
This could hurt.
Chém nó 10.
Pocket, and he does. Race to 5. Sure, all the balls were there for a 5-1 victory. And is this going to swing on its head? Is he ripping this? 3 rails, the cue ball?
Necessary. Yeah, this is missable. I thought he'd just take the long to the top right there, but can't fault him for trying to get closer. But it does become missable.
Còn là chắc vào rồi, 2-4. Capito đang thua 1-4.
Yeah, the smaller pocket that pool players only really play on the professional circuit. Maybe just scared Chua a little bit, but it is 4-2. We've still got a game on here. Big gap opened up on table 2. Ruiz is on the hill. He's now 4-1. Let me just get my league table up. WNTLivescores.com if you want to check it out yourself.
Hôm nay trọng tài béo đi đâu hết rồi. Còn 2 ông trọng tài gầy này, Sebi.
Don't be scared. Just whack the old email in. Ruiz is in 3rd on 16. Moritz is in 4th on 15. So a Ruiz point here just puts him kind of on his own in 3rd. So at the minute, it's sizing up to be a battle between Shaw, Yapp, Neuhausen.
Yeah, listen up, Carl, here, right? He's up 4 games to 1. Speaking of Shaw, automatic out. 7, 8, 9 left on the table.
2 ông phá cùng lúc này.
Guess what? He snookers himself behind the 9. Chua at the table to break. If he breaks and runs here.
Chua bảo này, Rui ơi, đợi tao phá cùng.
How does Shaw respond at that point?
Yeah, Shaw's had his freebie, as in the golden break. Talking of golden breaks, Ruiz has just found one to win the match. 5 racks to 1. The bumblebee is flying around the room. Oh, at first glance, Shaw will be happy. But what he doesn't realise, like us, is this man's a joke at this type of shot.
No way he's taking this on.
I'm telling you.
There's no way he's taking
Scott.
this on. He's chipping it to the right, behind the 7, and going up back of the 9 and 8.
Johann, don't let me down. Oh, God. Come on, Johann. You're making me look
He
silly.
can't shoot that ball.
He's a maniac at them shots. I've been watching it for 8 solid
He
days.
can't shoot that ball.
No, I mean, your shot was the sensible shot.
Did he find the gap, speaking of fortunate moments for Shaw?
Well, he did. But he set it up. This is a well.
He had the gap there, Carl. He actually had the gap there. That tells me he could have played safe as well. Really could have buttered him up behind the 7. So you didn't have to take the bank on, but maybe trying to press the issue here. And you got to expect Chua to get out here. He's going to deliver. You know that's going to happen. So really, what's it come down to? Or am I getting ahead of myself? 4 games to 3 is what it looks like to me.
Yeah, that's okay. Kind of don't mind this play just because of where the green 6 lays. Going to take the distance. Cue ball in between the 8 and the green 6.
Yeah, he's got the right side here. He wants to come up past it and play the green in the same corner. He can, I believe, but no reason. Looks like that's what he's going to do. I feel like this is more of a natural kill. Just stay below the 6 to the right side, but there you get a good look at it. Okay, he's playing the shot. And he is in prime position here now, Carl. It looks like it's going to be 4-3 Shaw with a late comedy of errors.
Yeah, believe me, Johann Chua knows this is going to hurt Shaw. All he can do is keep plugging away rack by rack, but he knows he's put a little heat on that man's shoulders. Crazy, really, Scott, because Shaw played such a beautiful set up until that error. You called it, though. 2 rails with a cue ball. It was over.
Yeah, it was all about the 6 to the 7. Coming up to the 1 line, when you've got that 9 in such a big position, it really made no sense. And I think that that's where sometimes his talent gets him in trouble instead of maybe giving it a split second to think about things.
Well, 4-3. Table 2 was finished. It was Ruiz who got the job done. Capito against Yapp coming up over there. Now then, Scott, does he go full power on the brake, or is he going to take a little bit off?
Well, I think you just do what got you here, right? Keep braking the way you have been today, which I think he's picked up the pace a little bit, but he did get more accurate with the 1.
It's took 8 days to get to this point, but we're at the point of the tournament where things are really starting to get serious. And as I said, Jason Shaw sits alone at the bottom of the league table in 6th on 14 points. This will be his 26th match played. He'll only have 3 games left to play. If he can nick a rack here within the next 2, he'll go level Yapp and Neuhausen. The bumblebee's moving. Has a ball gone in?
Look here, Carl. Look here, Carl. A lot
Green
of
6.
things threaten
Green
the pocket.
6.
A lot of things threaten the pocket, but nothing down. Out the 1 too thick, I believe, really, because it went above the side, and we don't see that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the 1 ball caught both points. That's how close he got to making the ball. I think he can just dig into this, can't he, and come off the 1 rail. Or can he kind of drag it in and play it slow? Yeah, he played 2 rails. He was always going to sacrifice a straight the shot on the blue 2, though, there.
Yeah, this is a long ways from over here. He's got tons of work to do. I would actually be a little bit surprised if he cuts it this ball. I guess he can use the pink. He will use the pink, so cutting it is okay, looking at it from the side. Banking maybe, Carl.
Yeah, I think he wants to keep the 4 there. to get on the purple 5. I don't think he wants to risk moving it.
That's initially what I had thought.
Because if the purple 5, I mean, listen, if he's right behind it, the combo's available, but that's difficult. But I think he goes into far right corner where Jay's sat. Now, what angle's he got?
Yeah, it does, but you're right. He could play a combination and a backdoor safety as well if he'd like. These guys are not thinking safety. Can he draw this ball into the line, Carl, past the purple, or is he going forward? So he is going to play the combination and maybe a backdoor safety.
He needs this to hold up, though, in order to play safe. Can he just get the cue ball behind the 6 and the combo? I don't know.
Yeah, the suspense of this match has really turned up a notch. You just
Game
got the
59 luôn
feeling
nè.
after the mistake with Shaw to win 5-1. We're going to the wire.
Nào, 4 đều.
100% on the combo hit. Forget the cue ball. If you can't hide it, give everything to this shot.
Bên kia là Rui thắng 5-1 rồi. 4 đều.
Yeah, and there you have it. We are tied up at 4 games apiece. Not much Shaw can do but sit.
So có định vào vòng trong nữa hay không?
Hope, whatever he can do, needs an opportunity this next game. Chua, he's thinking otherwise.
Yeah, Jason's said a few words to somebody in the crowd. But listen, we've sat here and watched it. He should have won 5-1. He had 4 balls over the pocket. Whatever happens after that, you know, we've all played in tournaments and matches. I mean, if I'd have lost a match like this, I'd be walking out the venue.
Cho mọi người không biết là So đang đứng thứ 6 nhé.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest, Carl. The producers are in our
So đang
ear
đứng thứ
saying they're
6.
going to show the 2 ball, the great shot that
So
he made
thua là
earlier
thôi.
on when he was on the 6. All of a sudden, just tracked right behind the 9, and well, that little highlight might go away.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking the match was over, so I wasn't paying loads of attention to Jason's shot. Do you think he played one rail because he's lefty? Was he stretching over a little bit?
Well, that's what I kind of said, right? I think he just kind of took it for granted, allowed his talent to just take over instead of really thinking it out because he was flowing so easily there. We might get another look at that play at some point here. What a big break this is. It's a lot bigger for Shaw than it is for Yapp. 2 dry breaks in a row, Carl. Does the 3 clear? He's going to have a
Đây.
look at winning
Cơ hội
this
cho
match.
So thắng đây.
Yeah, and listen, that's all you can ask for. Regardless of what
Tận
has
dụng được không
happened
nào
on
So.
the table, if you get a visit at Hill, you've got to be happy. What's he faced with, though?
Yeah, is he dead straight here? If he is, it's really nasty because this isn't one you can really cheat with the distance.
This was the shot Freeze was talking about. Look at that, he played 1 rail. Just come 2 rails down the middle. You've won 5-1.
Yeah, and he wasn't really that stretched out. He could have definitely, look at this, trying to draw
So
through
bực rồi đấy.
that, and he's going to end up right on the purple.
Yeah, he needs to be careful.
So bực rồi đấy.
Where the red three's gone. The red
Mọi người thấy chưa? So bực rồi
make
đấy.
sure you contact.
Không thành ngắm con 2 luôn.
He's lost the plot just a bit, I believe.
So bắt đầu bực rồi đấy.
Did the purple 5 move? Yeah, look where the purple 5's gone here. He can play the purple 5 off the red 3, I think. No, he can't. What I'm talking about.
Còn 3 kia vẫn vất kìa.
2 ball at first.
Còn 3 này vẫn vất này.
Your idea
Không biết
is
là
right.
dính mom chưa?
Purple 5 doesn't get in the way. He could have played
Yeah.
the 2, so Jason got a bit fortunate there that the 5 eclipsed the 2.
Yeah, that's what I tried to get out of my mouth.
Còn đường vào.
Still, I mean, pretty careless.
Mình nhìn như là hết đường độ 10 rồi hay sao ấy.
He's a heavy favorite to hit it. And like you said, the 3's helping him.
Yeah, because he got down so quick, it's like he didn't clock the 3 ball where it went.
It's exactly what happened. Exactly what happened. So he's going to play short side and try and get it past the 4.
FSA bây giờ chuẩn bị đánh nhé. Đánh xong trận với Aloysius thì FSA lại đánh tiếp với So nhé.
Positional shot. It makes life a little easier, but these are nasty.
Còn bây giờ là FSA đánh với Aloysius.
Yeah, an amateur player can never get
Sau trận này là FSA đánh với Aloysius này.
That's really what you've got to do here.
Còn hiện tại đang là trận đại chiến châu Á này.
And that's a
Yapp với
big, good
Capito.
shot right there. Now, it's all about the purple. Once you're there to the top right, everything opens up, and Shaw going to be in disgust.
So đánh quả con 2 ý là chấp nhận rồi đấy. Chấp nhận thua rồi đấy.
Okay, just a bit steep, Carl. I think he can just tuck it. There's no issues here. He's so close to the 5. It's all about getting it down.
Con này là Chua tính ăn gian một tí này.
And what a match this has been. It looked like he was going to run away with it.
Không biết được con 5 có vào được hay không.
Yeah, it needs to hit the long rail, which it does.
Ok, vẫn vào.
Just starting out on table 2, Robbie Capito against Aloysius Yapp.
There's the 2 ball that he played right past
So,
the 6.
So thì đánh xong trận này so nghỉ thôi. Nghỉ cho trận Moritz Neuhausen với Rui vào bàn đấy đánh. Rui với Neuhausen đánh xong cái thì Neuhausen đi, so vào đánh luôn. So đánh với Rui luôn. Để lịch đấy những các trận nó đánh kiểu sẽ kéo dài ấy. Có trận kéo đến 4-4 chẳng hạn. 4-4 rồi 5-4 thì tự dưng là thời gian nó bị đẩy lùi. Chưa an ủi. So bực lắm rồi này. So bực lắm. Đấy, so tự đánh tự phá trong lúc chờ đợi này. Đây, bên này nội chiến châu Á này, Yapp bắt buộc phải thắng này. Yapp muốn đi tiếp phải thắng này. Đây, cho anh em xem lịch nhé. Lịch đây. Đấy, nhảy rồi. Đây, trận tiếp theo là Neuhausen với Rui ở bàn ý. Trận này ở table 1 nhé. Đánh xong thì lại Rui ngồi đấy luôn này. So với Rui đánh luôn này. Đánh xong là nghỉ nhé. Đánh xong 2 trận này là nghỉ. Đến đêm đánh nhé. Đến đêm đánh. Đây là 1 giờ sáng đánh này. 1 giờ sáng này Chua với Rui này. So với Capito này. Đánh trận cuối cùng của vòng này là đến 2 giờ sáng này. 2 giờ sáng đánh xong thì rơi vào tầm 2 rưỡi đến 2 giờ 45. Nghỉ đến tầm 3 giờ. 3 giờ 15 thì đánh bán kết. Bán kết 1. Xong đánh bán kết 2. Bán kết 2 xong thì nghỉ tầm 30 phút rồi đánh chung kết. Cũng chưa chắc đã nghỉ đến 30 phút đâu. Với lịch này chắc nghỉ đến 30 phút. So thì chắc chắn loại rồi. Tình hình này so là loại rồi. So còn 14 này. 14 mà Moritz 15 vẫn còn cơ hội nhỉ. So vẫn còn cơ hội. Nhưng với điều kiện là Moritz phải thua này. Yapp cũng còn cơ hội này. Còn mấy ông trên này gần như chắc chắn rồi này. 2 ông này chắc chắn rồi này. Đấy, cho anh em xem bảng điểm với tỷ số với lịch thi đấu rồi đấy. Bàn ấy chưa đánh bạn ơi. Phải cho người ta thời gian người ta vào bàn chứ. Đợi 5 phút mà. Mà Capito vào nhưng nhưng Yapp chưa chắc đã vào. Đúng không? Yapp chưa chắc đã vào mà. Mở tính ra cứ trận nào Leo Sen tôi không xem. Bắt ông donate xong thì tôi mới chuyển qua, hợp lý đấy nhỉ. Ôi, đợt này tôi không có thời gian để tôi đánh luôn ấy. Tôi live xong này, live xong đến sáng xong rồi tôi ngủ đến trưa rồi tôi lại làm cho khách ấy. Vướng giải cho nên tôi cũng không xem được, không chơi được. Hôm qua cụ em 11 giờ đêm là rủ đi chơi. Chịu. Đợt này đang chạy thiết kế cho khách web với làm mấy cái logo cho khách. Thế là cày đêm cày suốt. Chưa có thời gian đi. Live giờ này hy vọng anh em donate thì chả ai donate. Donate thì tôi còn có kiểu bỏ không làm web nữa. Tôi còn có thời gian tôi chơi. Giờ vẫn phải nhận thêm. Nãy khách vừa gọi điện giục tôi kìa. Nãy xem cái trận của gì nhỉ? Chua với Leo Sen. Khách gọi tôi kìa. Giục. Hứa khách là tầm 8 rưỡi 9 giờ gửi mà tôi còn chưa gửi đây. Vì vẫn còn đang livestream đây. Đấy, chia sẻ với anh em là như thế. Cũng muốn chơi lắm.
They get on the blue too.
Well, it was interesting to me watching the score line on that last match with.
Mình bảo ông Hoàng donate cái ông ấy im luôn. Trời ơi. Ông ấy im, ông ấy không thèm bình luận luôn.
Like everyone was going to split their first two, and of course FSR just now in his second match, but the ones that had played it, but with that comeback, a bit different complexion now, those standings. Yeah, and I think, like I talked about earlier, just I think Moritz is starting to feel a little better. I think that first match, maybe trying to find a little timing and maybe a few decisions here and there, but looks to be in a better spot now.
Yeah, Yeah, Jason's got 3 games left to go. Yapp's got 3 games. Neuhausen, obviously both them 2 are in action right now. So after these matches, they'll have 2, but they've both got a chance to go.
Bây giờ tôi mở sang ông ấy comment,
Sure if they can get
đúng không?
wins. These are big
Có lẽ tôi bảo donate tôi mới mở sang, ông có comment đâu. Ông dỗi còn gì nữa.
As far as setting them up to really make it to where Shaw's need something special coming down the end, maybe a little help. Starting to look at these racks. They look a little inconsistent. Watch Yapp break on table 2 and the 9 pushed right out of the back of the rack. 1 missed by some piece.
You know what though, Jeremy? Over the years where, you know, you've been playing in events, Scott, as I have, we kind of like it this way. This is what we sort of wanted. You know, when you look back at the old sort of break rules where the 1 was on the spot at the World Championships years ago and just tap the ball in the wing.
Đây là ông fan thôi.
Crying out for this.
No, I agree. I mean, I like it to where it's nothing's so given, you might say. I played in Cardiff for many years, and of course there's the pressure of the World Championships, and you could see that with every player, self included. But I got to where if I was playing good, I felt like I was dogging it if I didn't break and run out, and actually broke and ran a lot of racks in that event just with the 1 on the spot. The problem I get, this is the problem I get with it when it's real easy, is I get the feeling the players almost give in to like the pool gods and almost say, well, yeah, it's your turn to win it this time. Maybe I win it the next time because I get the first shot and a huge lead and whatnot, get to break some runs and racks. So I just don't like seeing that with the players.
Yeah, obviously the previous match is fresh in our mind, you know. We don't play anymore and we just commentate and we watch it. Obviously you do a lot of coaching, and that last match there, if you was to sit down with a student, an up-and-comer, that'd be a great video to show a young player, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, for sure. And many matches actually this week, you could see a lot of different things, and that's the beauty of the change in the rules and the format. And of course, this week we see the tables playing very difficult.
Yeah, I think they've set the tables up here tremendous. These Rasson tables. Mr. Sung.
Yeah, I feel like not only 3.9 is the measurement, but I feel like the angle of the pocket is a little different than maybe what we saw at the Worlds last year and so on. Maybe the pitch from, you know, the back of the facing versus the front has a little more angle to it, so you got to hit the ball a little more pure. Real nice one there.
Yeah, that's as pure as they come. Maybe the sure loss was just give Yapp that bit of a spring in his step.
Well, also
Nhìn
Moritz.
Yapp đẹp trai thế này cơ
Moritz
mà.
can win this match right here. I mean, not only does Jason, I
Đẹp
believe,
trai đầy đặn.
win
Mũ mím đáng
probably all
yêu.
3 of those final matches, he may have to have a scenario come down for a little help from one of these guys.
Yeah, I believe that would be correct. I think Shaw's still got to play Neuhausen. I'm going to have a quick look.
Yeah, he does. Only one of those 3 he's played so far is Yapp.
Yeah, and it's the last match for Jason against Neuhausen.
Chắc chưa? Giải mình không xem.
Yeah.
And his good friend and Mosconi Cup teammate plays Yapp at the same time on table 2, so he might be asking for favours there from Ruiz.
Con hai này chơi luôn
I
thôi.
think it's going to come down the other way. I really think it's going to come down where he hopes Yapps wins and then just
Đặt cái lực
maybe another
này
scenario
6-7
where Morris
thì
losing a match besides the head-up match with Jason.
Yeah,
mấy
direct
ông thế
difference
giới này.
that separates
À đây rồi.
Neuhausen and Yapp at the moment.
Yeah, and the main thing for Yapp, he's looking better and better every ball.
Yeah, and he's got 4
Con này kích
balls
em tích
left
thôi.
on table 2 for a 3-0 lead.
Nhìn mặt ông này cộng quá.
Yeah, you can see just kind of let up on it here.
Ông tươi mũ mím đỉnh ông Giáp kia. Nhìn Giáp còn tươi mũ mím.
See short with the cue ball, but that's what happens with the thicker hit.
somewhat of a kick and stick here for Fran. He could go off the top rail as well, but he wants to go this way. Wonderful. Where's the two going to go? Couldn't ask for much more, I suppose. I know he's left
Ôi,
the
bị
pot,
trôi
but
xuống rồi.
always going to be difficult to try and kick it into.
Mình thích
Position
nếu
you want.
Roy đánh theo đường
That
kia hơn.
reminds me of a couple of
Đường băng ngắn á,
runs he
đá con
passed
hai đi
that
hơn.
were similar yesterday, and which I thought he would take on, but I think they were both against Chua, if I remember correctly. Yeah, solid, Mr. Yapp. Looks to have a 3-0 lead here shortly. Good dig on this. I kind of like that myself from distance a little bit.
Tôi yêu cái vẻ đẹp của
Maybe
châu
go
Á.
to 7.
Tôi yêu con người Việt Nam. Tôi yêu vóc dáng Việt Nam. Ở đây không có Việt Nam thì tôi yêu vóc dáng của Yapp.
Thinner, but
Đẹp trai, mũm mĩm,
goes 4
đáng
cushions
yêu.
here if he feels like it. I think it's right where he can play it a soft
Ôm cái bụng
cushion
thì
or
thích rồi.
four, whichever he wants. The top end very open. And it's just usually you're catching that ball thick a little bit. You're just not
Con
getting
này
through
A
the
băng thôi.
ball, and that's 2 of these in this rack. The 2 ball to open, and now 3 ball.
Yeah, he's going off the left. He'll get the cue ball bending a little bit, straighten up.
Okay, a nice hit. Should be a good safety in play here for Moritz.
Con này dính chặt vào con 5 rồi.
Should try to get him on the back of the purple here, I think.
5 hay đẩy lên.
Edging this other one. Okay. It's pretty good. 7's going to come into play a little bit. Might be a 2-rail escape off the bottom.
Mơ, mình
See if
thích.
you can swerve it, maybe edge this ball and try and live.
Người ôm thích thế nào được. Bây giờ ông có một thằng bạn béo hay một thằng bạn gầy, ông thích thằng ôm thằng nào hơn? Ôm thằng béo vẫn thích hơn chứ. Thằng gầy có gì để ôm.
All right,
Ok,
decides
chấp
to
nhận.
just surrender ball in hand.
Con này Chua về gãi luôn không? Chua về va đầu 9. Không, không Chua về gãi luôn.
Looks like Moritz has a plan for the 5-8 combination.
À, tính được
inside.
ghép 5-8.
Just got to draw it between the 7-9, it appears.
Yeah, he's lining up the purple 8 here. It looks to be close.
Ghép 5-8.
Yeah, it's more than makeable.
Con cái thì về má này con cái sẽ chạy xuống dưới rồi.
I think he might need some speed here, though. This purple could fall a little bit. So you might want to shoot this to where it escapes, maybe.
À, giữ con cái lại này. Hay thế.
Thought it'd be a bit more speed on
Vẫn
the
giữ được
ball,
con
but
cái lại.
didn't want it to get away. Now going to elect for the safety immediately here behind the brown. It's got to go.
Đuôi không?
Got to go, and it's the most common to end up short.
Ồ, mình nhầm cái mèo.
Yeah, great shot from Ruiz. 6 ball comes round nice.
Yeah, I really thought Moritz should consider taking on that bank. This sat better than this, and now maybe Fran not as much of a choice with the safety, but Moritz got down on the safety quickly. Nice out there to tie a match.
Yeah, one apiece. Capito's at the table. This is the situation over there. He's 3-0 down.
Capito đang xuống phong độ rồi. Con cái hơi quá lực rồi.
Yeah, just lost his cue ball a bit here, hasn't he? So now he's gonna have to get this cue ball moving.
Như giáp là được rồi. Nhưng Mario He thì lại bự quá. Bự quá ôm không hết. Giáp kia còn ôm hết được.
Should be able to tell quickly which side of the cue ball that tip position's on. Okay, he's coming short side, or he's really ripping it, coming 1-2 back and forth to the upper right.
Là múa quả.
Cue ball. Okay, he dug on it. Sweet stroke. 9 ball. See you later.
Đơn giản nhỉ? Đấy, rui vào đơn giản cực kỳ luôn.
Our first golden breakup today that I know of.
Cứ để cho Leo Sen ăn hết rồi rui vào ăn thôi. Rồi phá thì phá chết 9. Thế là xong. Nha. Thôi, Leo Sen chịu thua đi.
Yeah, you're missing all the action. You're missing all the fun. You even missed Shaw hooking himself at 4-1 for the match from nowhere. Yeah, that's the golden break that we see a lot, isn't it, Jeremy? Where the cue ball kicks it into the corner.
Well, I noticed it at.
Bây giờ Leo Sen phá ra đường ghép 29 và chết con cái. Xong rồi rui lại vào cộng phát là xong.
But little things, you know, you miss position off that combination, you have to play a safety. This great player comes with a bank, gets out. Now the 9 on the break.
Doesn't look like the two balls going to open up.
No, and again, if you're the player, you kind of feel like that mistake is compounded a bit. There's the 9 moving out of the rack again.
Kịch bản á? Có, kịch bản đi tiếp có chứ. Leo Sen vẫn còn cơ hội mà. Hiện tại Leo Sen cũng đang trong top 4 mà. Giáp thắng thì Giáp sẽ lên. Nếu Leo Sen thua thì Leo Sen sẽ xuống. Xuống top 5 thì Giáp lên top 6 nếu Giáp thắng. Quan trọng nhất vẫn là trận cuối cùng giữa Leo Sen và Giáp thôi. Con này thủ lỗi này. Đánh an toàn. Còn này kích in tích thôi.
Just like any sport, really, you kind of feel like you're behind at that moment, meaning you're at the disadvantage.
Yeah.
Just like most sports trying to.
Còn này chắc lại kích in tích thôi.
Give yourself more opportunity.
Cái in tích này mà chết 2 lỗ 10 càng tốt. Còn không thì cũng chả sao. Lại để con cái nó trôi xuống đây thì khó rồi. Và sai má con 2.
And I don't know. I mean, this shot here, the safety's just as hard being elevated. I think I have to try and attack, even though not easy.
Thông thường những quả ấy các cơ thủ hay kick and
It's
tích.
like hard to get through the ball when elevated sometimes.
Chết được hai thì được thì hay, mà không chết hai thì vẫn hay.
He hit it beautifully. May get a little opening, no.
Lại sửa tiếp.
Tell you, I may just come at this 7-8 here. Really put a lot into making the pink. Hard to get snookered, I feel.
Seen so many balls this week just
Phá luôn này.
sat deep in the pocket.
Phá luôn cho rui.
Misses.
Quả này dễ rồi.
Yeah, and what you'll notice this week is these are balls not hitting the pocket with a lot of speed either. I mean, that's off a soft cut. Usually the ball wants to fall a little more when you're cutting the ball like that. It wasn't hit perfectly, but not much slide there.
Nè, ru tính nhảy hay là nhảy rồi.
Ryan always really good with the jump cue. This one not hard to make, but he's usually
Cẩn
really
thận.
good with the cue
À,
ball.
còn đường riêng à? Rồi còn đường riêng.
It's a safety or some position play here. It's almost like if he wasn't snookered, really.
Đường ra 5 đẹp luôn này. Rồi, 3-1. Đường ra 5 đẹp thế này cơ mà.
I'll tell you, if you like drama in the way these things have unfolded so far, if Fran gets this win now, it's really wide open. And it looks like, you know, at the moment, you would think maybe Yapp in the running for that last spot, but still very wide open.
Yeah, Yapp is playing on table 2, 3-1 up, but Capito, he's at the table, but he just slammed his cue on the table and not seen many misses like the boys just missed, to be fair.
Yapp đang thắng 3-1 Capito rồi.
Okay,
Leo
Louise
Sen mà thua trận này thì bắt buộc phải thắng Yapp.
trying to do his Moscone
Yapp còn 2 trận tự quyết nữa cơ.
from last year a favour.
Yeah, Yapp's not going to be too happy getting the cue ball near the rail on that shot. Very key to stay off the cushion. This is going on table 2. You can see now. Got off the cushion enough, so should be able to get
6 ra 7 khó này.
7. It has to elevate the cue doing so.
Nào, chém ngọt được không?
Wanted, but probably just rolls with the angle, probably going back and forth, maybe.
Wow, 6 ra 7 khó.
I don't know if I try to hold. I know to the short pocket, that's normally what you want. But this cue ball wants to move, just go ahead and move with it.
Vẫn ngọt
Yeah,
luôn.
really sweet. Got an angle here as well, so coming back down for the 9
Tự tin 4-1 rồi.
is automatic.
Ui con cái. Ui con cái.
I swear table
Trời
2
ơi.
runs a little
Lỗi lực rồi.
faster than table 1. Been seeing it the last few days for sure. Great break off there. For FSR, he's going to get a little bit of a look at the 2. Not easy, but see what his options are after a very missable 9 ball now for Yapp. Big one, though, to put him on the heel.
Yeah, good pot on the 9 there from Yapp.
If I'm FSR. I got to attack here. I know it's not easy. Just come straight at the 3-9 with the cue ball. Could bank it away and kind of stop there. Can he get into the ball to
Leo
kill
Sen
it?
thua
The
Capito
seven
rồi mà.
didn't really look to be
Sen còn
on.
một trận gặp Yapp với một trận gặp Shaw thôi. Yapp với Shaw thôi. Thì là đêm đánh. Còn thua Capito rồi. Con này vẫn khó này.
Yeah, real
Con này
first
vẫn
is
khó này.
left.
Đi qua khe con 7 kìa.
You want to hit the blue two fairly
Qua
thin.
khe chạm 2 được không? Vẫn chạm 2 được.
Cue ball back out.
Chạm 2 được.
Yeah, the key here is, again, hit it thin, but smooth it around the table. Don't get into it too much. That looks all right. See, I hooked a little bit for him.
Ok, về đây.
Gonna fall near the cushion, so fairly straight.
Yapp thắng trận này, thắng tiếp trận Leo Sen là coi như là Yapp vào luôn rồi. Trận quyết định vẫn là được cái đôi ý gặp nhau. Đây rồi. Đấy, Leo Sen chấp nhận thua rồi đấy.
And again, table two. The one ball, very difficult on the break. And Moritz had a few of those cueing problems in the first match I saw. Looked like he was starting to settle in a bit. But now in a
Chấp nhận thua rồi.
position against a guy that has been as quiet as anyone, really kind of getting through this field and in a great position.
Yeah, Ruiz, the only player left who's lifted this very trophy. A couple of seasons ago, he beat Jason Shaw in that final. That was when Ruiz was on that kind of 18-month big winning streak.
Yeah, I remember he showed up with a little bit under the weather and didn't have his best start, but it's all, we all kept saying we know he's gonna come with it, and he sure did. Just the way it played for so long. Little light there.
Trận này thì cơ hội khó rồi. Cơ hội trận này vẫn còn nhưng khó. 4-1 mất rồi. Còn trận gì nhỉ? Gặp Yapp nữa. Trận này bắt buộc phải thắng. So thì vẫn còn cơ hội luôn nhé.
Yeah, on the hill. Seen quite a lot this week though. Still got to get the job done. He's raised to 5. Can soon switch on its head. That's what Capito's trying to do. On our other table, he's 4-1 down, but he is at the table against Yapp.
So thắng 2 trận còn lại vẫn còn cơ hội này.
Doesn't want to land straight here.
Capito với Chua giờ là đánh dưỡng sức thôi.
Bit of distance here. been handling these well all week. Yeah, had to thump it in. Talking of thumping. Yeah, he's got to look at the blue too. Green 6 ball.
Con 6 kia chắc đánh lỗ 10 rồi.
Well, he's showing a little bit of frustration here. He got down
À,
really
còn 3.
quick on that ball.
Giờ còn 3 mã này.
And Moritz, he's got to play more pool. Of course, still trying to win this match. Needs to regroup. No better
Chấp nhận đánh
feeling to
xa.
regroup mid-match, really, in my opinion. Get it back together in these short races.
Thì nên vào thôi.
Got a difficult one here.
Thì đấy, quan trọng là phải thắng 2 trận ý.
Pink, but position on the
Thắng 2 trận ý là đuổi được cả Yapp với So xuống rồi.
Cut that lead to 4-2. This is maybe gonna get there. I don't know. He keeps
Wow,
looking at his hand.
Chua
I'm
quả
not
kìa.
sure what the situation
Chua quả chấp nhận chịu
is.
thua luôn kìa.
Well, I hope he's not been playing paddle tennis last night.
Ông này buồn cười, có cái tật cái chỉ trò trò rất hay.
Few of us been on the paddle courts. There's a big paddle.
Đấy,
Kind of
bây giờ Rui chỉ cần chắc chắn con 6 là ok này.
played it, Jeremy.
No.
Chỉ cần chắc chắn vào con 6 thôi.
No, I mean, of
Tức
course,
rồi đấy,
it's
lém luôn cả
different
cục
racket
lơ
sport-
kìa.
Different racket sports, but never played the game y'all were playing.
Oh, I think you'd enjoy it then if you like your tennis.
Yeah, I used to play quite a bit of it. All right, Ruiz.
Ok. Thế là biết kết quả sao rồi đấy.
For 2 wins out of 2.
Con 7 con 8 này có gì phải nói nữa đâu, đúng không? Bi cơ bản này.
And of course with Yapp,
Tôi không có hạng, tôi có đi được
Chua,
2 con này thì mấy ông này
they
có
are
gì đâu.
already winning matches. I think they're in. Can't hardly figure the math. They would tell us otherwise, but with 2 wins in a row here for FSR, and the other players.
Rui sẽ ngồi lại đây, Rui đánh tiếp.
Mathematically, this will put him in. Of course, the people behind the scenes will tell us shortly.
Yeah, Chua was definitely in before this match. He's in green on the leaderboard. Ruiz.
Này thì Tây
That's
rồi.
his campaign. He'll stay right there.
Này thì mắt xanh mũi lo này.
Short will be back in the arena.
Đây. Trận tiếp theo sẽ gặp Yapp, trận quyết định luôn đấy. Để xem lại cái bảng nào. Nói chung là Aloysius giờ vẫn đang top 4. Yapp thắng trận này, Yapp vẫn top 4. Đấy. À, vẫn top 5. Vì Yapp là thua hiệu số. Tuy nhiên chỉ cần Yapp thắng Aloysius cái là Yapp vươn lên. Còn cụ Rui, Capito, Chua là chắc chắn rồi. Chỉ có 3 ông cho Yapp và Aloysius là cạnh tranh nhau thôi. Ở đâu Yapp thắng trận này là Yapp lên này. Yapp lên top 4 này. Còn Aloysius xuống này. So một thắng thì So lại lên top 4 này. So một thắng vui. Đêm. Dạng sáng 1:30. Lịch là 1:30. Nói chung là trận quyết định vẫn là trận với Yapp. Mà cũng phải thắng cả So nữa. Không thắng So mà thắng hết So cũng lên. 3 ông ấy cạnh tranh nhau thôi. Capito, Vui và Chua thì không phải bàn rồi. Mọi người ngồi xem nhé. Tôi làm nốt chỗ khách đây. Thì sau trận Yapp này thì tôi sẽ chuyển sang trận của Rui. Còn mọi người cứ xem nhé.
Pull on this. So good at that shot and variations of it. I think it bodes well on all tables, but especially like Moscone when it gets real slick. that's a huge kind of shot to be able to shoot comfortably.
Yeah, his opponent, same, right? I think his opponent might be the best with that slower outside drag shot.
Yeah, might as well turn the shot clock off whenever Shaw's at the table. That is a waste of electricity. Little flat.
Don't worry about it, he said. Let it rip. Well, they're in stroke, Jeremy. They are in dead stroke.
Yeah, I think the other 10 players that did make it to today would tell you this is the deserving 6 that did make it. Shaw. Is this his first lead of this match? I believe so.
Yeah, was trailing 3-0 the match prior, and what a long ball he come with on the blue 2 with half a pocket to the top left. Chua ended up getting that match. Hill versus Shaw.
Yeah, table 2 is done for the afternoon. It's our last match on table 1. I believe we'll have 3 more rounds on the beginning of the evening session before our semifinal final gets started.
Watch out, cue ball. He's clear. Not clear to the 2. Probably going to bury him up under the 7 here.
I try to make it. Take the bank on the 3 or assess from there. Try to make this one.
Oh boy, it's a big ball to get over. Awfully close here.
Yeah, for these players, not that hard, but the key is don't miss hit it, because when you're getting over one close, you can curve the cue ball with a miss hit and have problems.
Wow. Shot by Shaw. He end up with a look on the red 3.
I think so. Maybe not.
Yeah, really tough. He did get to the correct side of the cue ball there, but still elevated over the pink and trying to get the cue ball all the way around. The thick hit is what promoted the cue ball not getting to the pink.
Yeah, and, you know, the mood tells us with Jason that there's not really much safe in mind at the moment, but you're going to have anyone in the event that can maybe play that kind of style and play back into their game and still win like that. That would be Jason Shaw. And perfect speed there. Very close to his work. A nice and little natural angle. Just come back past the middle diamond. That's all you need. Now, surprised he did this. Thought he would just come up on the right side. I thought there was enough angle to do that. So now he's got to regroup a little bit.
Yeah, a little surprised he didn't dig into that. Instead, he just rolled it and simply overcut the ball. Fatigue.
The shot on the 8 was the one that I was more shocked about Eagle Eye.
That was dead in the heart. See the look from FSR here. Yeah, you could take this with a low outside ball, typically catching it full. He just felt like rolling it. Like Jeremy said, it was the shot from the 8 that caused the problem. Shaw once again in a lead. I believe I misspoke. I think it was Shaw that was. Yeah, they're starting to all kind of go together. But that match that Shaw lost, I believe he was up 3-0 and lost the match to Chua. I think that's what happened. 4-1, 3-0. That's exactly what happened now that I remember correctly.
Yeah, 4-2 lead here, and Jason knows as well as us, none are too big of leads in these races to 5. Smash. 9 ball. 9 ball.
Yeah, is that what Shaw needs to continue forward with a little bit of care?
Well, not only a little bit of care, but I mean, it mathematically keeps him right in it. So a huge win there, no matter the mood. And now gets to go to the break and possibly regroup Scott Frost. So this is the PLP. We're going to have all the hot stuff coming up at 7 o'clock local, so stay tuned. Oh, excuse me one
Ok anh em nhé, hết rồi đấy. Chúng ta xem lịch thi đấu nhé, xong rồi chúng ta sẽ nghỉ ngơi. Hôm nay là hết rồi. Trận tiếp theo là vào lúc 1 giờ nhé. Chua với Rui nhé. Sau đó Robbie và Capito ở bàn bên cạnh nhé. Trong hai trận này thì là Aloysius với Yapp và Chua với Capito. Còn đây nhé, so thắng thì Aloysius xuống dưới này. Ông Hoàng đâu rồi? Aloysius của ông đây, so đây, Yapp đây. Cho nên Aloysius bắt buộc phải thắng hai ông này, vì đây đúng là hai ông cạnh tranh trực tiếp với ông Aloysius luôn này. Còn không thắng được một trong hai, không thắng được cả hai ông này thì không lên được nhé. Đó. Yapp đây còn hơn một trận này, hơn một trận thắng này. Cho nên Aloysius mà không thắng được 2 trận thì thôi. Yapp chỉ cần thắng 1 trận thôi là Yapp trên Aloysius rồi. Còn Aloysius thua 1 trận thì thôi, xác định ở nhà luôn nhé. So đây, 3 ông này là chắc chắn luôn rồi này. Đấy, còn 3 ông này tranh nhau thôi. So vẫn còn cơ hội nhé. So thắng trận vừa rồi là vẫn còn cơ hội nhé. Mọi người ok chưa? Mọi người có thắc mắc gì không? Đêm nay sẽ đánh lốt nhé, đánh lốt. Thì chúng ta sẽ chuyển sang bên final này. Final này sẽ đánh vào sáng luôn, rơi vào khoảng tầm 3 giờ 3 rưỡi. Final đánh luôn. Đó, và chung kết. Chắc anh em không có cái gì hỏi nữa đúng không? Thế thì mình dừng phiên này đây nhé. Hẹn anh em vào sáng ngày mai 1 giờ.